What is going on, everybody? Is episode 868 of Pop Culture Crisis. My name is Brett, and I am here once again with my co-host. Introduce yourself, please.
Hello, Crisis Actors. It's Mary, and today is the first day after Pride Month. Relief is washing over me. I feel alive again, actually. It's time for humility. It's Humility Month in July.
Wait, I thought it was MAGA Month.
Well, I mean, to counteract Pride Month, you know, we could have a little more humility in our lives, right?
I mean, it's Brett Month, remember? Because it's my birthday tomorrow. And no. This is a note to never. If anybody ever tells you it's their birthday month, you run the opposite direction. It's the most narcissistic person you know. They think everything revolves around them. They will ask you for 1,000 favors, and when you ask them for something, they will tell you, sorry, I'm busy. Never associate with anybody who wants to have a birthday month.
Well, it is Brett's birthday eve, so get ready for tomorrow. It's going to be huge. And we have Tate joining us today.
It's true. Hello, everyone. My name's Tate. Yeah, I was in Memphis this weekend, so I'm just thankful to be alive. So I don't really care what month it is.
What were you doing in Memphis?
It was a wedding.
Oh.
And they didn't even provide flak jackets or anything, so it was pretty scary. But yeah. So if Pride Month, Brett Month, whatever.
What music do they play at a Memphis wedding?
They play Elvis.
Okay.
BB King.
Okay.
No, all the wedding playlists suck now. It's all just 2000s, like the same. They just play.
They're not playing
hits.
Benson Boone? I thought that was
Well,
like...
no,
they played Chappelle Roan, though.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, is this a gay wedding?
Okay.
This is something that we were having a conversation about because, like, I didn't know the intricacies of, like, the whole purpose behind, like, wedding music, because I can imagine that stuck-up millennials who don't actually care whether the people that come to their wedding have a good time would make eclectic playlists that only they like. Right? Because they don't want to have a playlist like everybody else. They want to have their own wedding playlist. But then nobody cares because nobody knows the songs, so nobody actually wants to get up and dance.
It's very tricky.
You have to pick music that people know. Otherwise, it's not fun for them.
It's very tricky because it's weird because it's like it was my friend's wedding. We're both like 24. So like half the songs weren't even out when we were like alive. But yeah, at the same time, you try to get all avant-garde with your playlist. It's just like, what is this, a rave?
I'm just going to play TikTok songs.
Yeah, just do TikTok dances for 2 hours.
Yeah.
That'd be sick. But he did do a lot of Sinatra, so I appreciated that.
I
think if anything, we need to go back further.
Right. Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
So then you can be like, I was born in the wrong generation.
So true.
Oh, man. Guys, hit the like button on this video if you, in fact, were born in the right generation. Because you were. Just like you were born in the right body, you were born in the right generation as well. You were meant to be born in the generation you were born in. Trust me, it's the truth. So hit the like button on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new here and you have not subscribed here yet already. Please and thank you. Remember to share these live streams and the segments out with your friends and your family and your loved ones and everybody in your life that you both like and hate in equal measure. I would prefer it if you would share it with people that you really dislike. Perhaps you have like an uncle or an aunt that you really dislike. Share the video with them and then argue with them about it in the comments section to increase our engagement. It's part of my master plan. And you know, over the weekends and a lot lately, a lot of our segments have been doing a lot, like pretty good. So, you know, sharing that stuff out always helps us. It's working. The master plan is working. You're fighting with your family in the comments section. So share it out with everybody that you know. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. We got a bunch of stuff to get into today. So number one, of course, being there was this really long article written by The Hollywood Reporter breaking down the entire, like, just awful creative process, studio meddling from Pixar on behalf of the movie ELIO, which had queer themes that were then quashed and removed from the movie. And the movie bombed at the box office. So, you know, to be frank, I think the movie would have bombed either way.
Yeah, they're going to say, it bombed because they made the 11-year-old not gay.
Yeah, the movie was going to bomb either way. But we're going to get into all of the studio meddling. Perhaps we can, you know, pontificate on whether or not the movie would have done better in another direction, but we'll wait and see. Also, Taylor Swift is being accused of being in her Tradwife era, I guess. But you've made the supposition that she's already had that era.
Yeah, it already happened like over 10 years ago.
I saw that
everyone forgetting the history?
Yeah.
I'm a Taylor Swift historian, I guess.
So we're going to talk about that. We are also going to talk about a rash of music death traps that are gripping the nation as pop stars run the risk of killing themselves and fans alike as accidents befall them. It's like Final Destination with bad pop stars. It's, in this case, Katy Perry and Beyonce. If you go to their concert, watch out and wear a football helmet.
That might not be enough. You might get
if
crushed.
a car falls on you, the football helmet's not going to do much. But
Yeah.
you can provide your brain for CTE research if you need to. So we got that. We got a bunch of other stuff. If you guys are ready, we can just go. You ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go for it.
Buckle up, y'all, because we're talking about Palestine again. And this time it is because Dave Chappelle has called out DJ Khaled for his silence on the suffering in Gaza. If you didn't know already, DJ Khaled is himself Palestinian, and Dave Chappelle said basically, you haven't lifted a single one of your fat sausage fingers to help them. So this was at a comedy set that isn't recorded, so this is the quote. As a Palestinian, how could you be so quiet right now? And why are you so fat? People are starving. He's the only fat Palestinian on earth right now.
According to Grok, that's not true. You know, everybody hates the person who asks Grok a question in the comment section. I understand that people hate that, but some people did the research themselves and said that it's quite a high rate of obesity over there in Palestine.
Actually,
The first thing that I thought of when I saw this was like, if there was like a massacre in Poland, I wouldn't care. It has nothing to do with me.
I mean, I don't think that Dave Chappelle was calling out DJ Khaled in earnest, obviously.
I don't know.
also,
It was during a set.
DJ Khaled.
I mean, yeah, but that's so okay. So if he does it about other people, it's serious and he means it, but in this case, he doesn't mean it. Like, I don't know.
No, because it was during one of his sets. I think if he tweeted this out or something, that would be different. But
He's also like DJ Khaled is infamously not one of the most articulate people on planet Earth, so I don't know if you'd want him on your side. It would probably derail the cause.
I mean, if any, actually, I disagree because a lot of what politics is now is sloganeering, and if there's anybody you want shouting a slogan, it's DJ Khaled.
he's good at that.
Yeah, but he would like accidentally like endorse the IDF or something. Like he would just get confused.
He's a bit of an oaf, that's
Yeah.
for sure. We also have follow-up information on the controversies that took place at Glastonbury involving this rapper Bob Vylan as well as the rap trio Kneecap. First off, if you weren't watching yesterday, I'll catch you up. So Bob Vylan led a chant at Glastonbury, "Death to the IDF," and then
everyone's
as a result,
like, what does that mean? And the guy's like, I didn't want anybody to die.
as a result, Bob Vylan was dropped by his talent agency. The BBC made a statement condemning him, saying they should have censored the live stream when this took place. He's also under police investigation in the UK because they have hate speech laws there. And the United States has officially banned him from entering the country on a work visa. So he has now responded to the situation on X with this statement. "Not the first, not the last. Today, a good many people would have you believe a punk band is the #1 threat to world peace. Last week, it was a Palestine pressure group. The week before that, it was another band. We are not for the death of Jews, Arabs, or any other race or group of people. We are for dismantling a violent military machine, a machine whose own soldiers were told to use unnecessary lethal force against innocent civilians waiting for aid, a machine that has destroyed much of Gaza. We, like those in the spotlight before us, are not the story. We are a distraction from the story, and whatever sanctions we receive will be a distraction. The government doesn't want us to ask why they remain silent in the face of this atrocity, to ask why they aren't doing more to stop the killing, to feed the starving. The more time they talk about Bob Vylan, the less time they spend answering for their criminal inaction. We are being targeted for speaking up. We are not the first. We will not be the last. And if you care for the sanctity of human life and freedom of speech, we urge you to speak up to free Palestine." He captioned it, "Silence is not an option." It is funny, though, that he does admit he is a complete distraction from the issue at hand, and he just used this as an attention grab.
But imagine you read all that and then you heard like another one.
Yeah, that could swing your opinion.
Like-
Right, that could really
Yeah.
make it more emotionally evocative.
Yeah.
Perhaps a tasteful
Look,
Rihanna
I do
feature
actually
may
wanna-
swing the.
I do want to
swing
ask the
things.
question. Like, you could make the whole discussion about the idea of like silence is violence, which I think is stupid. You have no like. I understand we're going to operate under the premise that Dave Chappelle was kidding, but I do disagree with the idea that you have to have an opinion on something, otherwise you're a bad person. Because I have like literally no opinions. I'm like the only podcast host in the world that has no opinions on anything ever. And their idea is that if you don't speak up in the face of these atrocities, then you're a bad person. But again, DJ Khaled's parents were Palestinian. He's a first-generation American, from what I understand. but he doesn't have to have an opinion on anything. He doesn't have to have an opinion just because it was his parents' homeland.
It was the same thing 3 weeks ago during the protests against the ICE raids in LA, and all of these Los Angeles influencers were making TikToks saying, if you're not speaking out against the Trump administration, you are a bad person and you don't deserve your platform. That is the same exact message with literally every happening or non-happening. You're a bad person if you don't talk about this. But I think given what's happened to Bob Vylan as a result of these statements, it wasn't worth it for him career-wise to do this just for attention seeking. That's clearly what he was in the business of doing. He was just trying to be self-aggrandizing. I don't think that this is an issue near and dear to his heart.
It didn't even work because everyone keeps saying Bob Vylan as if it's one person, but that's just the name of the band. Apparently, the guy has a name.
It says they on the.
Yeah, his name's not Bob
It sounds
Dylan.
like pronouns, but it's actually because the band name is Bob
So,
Dylan.
like,
First of all,
bad
appropriating
marketing.
Bob Dylan at all is the worst decision anybody could ever make.
Well, they're all doing that. There's like a band called Bill Murray, and Michael Sarah Palin is another one.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good.
They're all hopping
That's
on
very
that
millennial
trend.
coded.
It's very millennial.
Yeah, hate it.
I mean, yeah, it's like these names. I mean, DJ Khaled's government name is Khaled, which is really funny.
There you go.
So it's like,
I didn't know that.
I didn't know
yeah.
that.
So it's like maybe his name's really goofy, and he's like, all right.
And then I am thinking Bob Vylan won't face criminal charges for the chant because actually the rapper from Kneecap who said your local politician is now not facing charges. So I guess even an overt express call to violence is not going to result in any jail time, which
But
is
if you
insane.
pray near an abortion facility, then
Right, in the
hell
UK,
hath no fury.
if you even think something
Yeah.
when you're walking past an abortion facility in
There
the
is,
UK, you're getting thrown in the gulag.
I do find there is something that just makes me giggle about like really, really in-depth European politics that I don't know nor care about, but people get really upset about. They're like, the only Tory is a dead Tory. I'm like, okay, I don't
Tory?
even like, yeah, like who's Tory? I don't know who
guy
that
sucks.
is. Like, okay,
Everyone hates this
Yeah.
guy.
Whatever happened to Boris Johnson?
Well, also like with the Bob Vylan thing, like everyone on right and left are going at it over the IDF thing, which is like a foreign conflict. And then he spent like half the show saying like, we've taken Britain, we're not giving it back. F you if you want old Britain back. And I'm like, that's the offensive part. Like, I mean, if he doesn't like the IDF, I mean, that was obviously a little over the top, but like, it's whatever. But like where he's getting up on stage like, we've conquered Britain, like you have no country. I'm like, that's the part that's kind of offensive and no one's really talking about it.
And
Yeah.
most of this is just a result of living in an age of the internet where now everything is globalized and you have to have an opinion. Like, I wonder if my dad would have had opinions about like the IRA back in the, in the 90s.
I asked my mom one time, I was like, what was it like the Troubles is crazy, like a war in
Yeah.
Britain? I was like, what did you think about that like in the 80s and 90s
What they
growing
did?
up? And she was like, it seemed really far away, so I didn't really like
That's what I mean. Like,
I didn't
it's
think
like,
about it much.
It's just as far away now.
Yeah. So
Just
it's like
feels closer.
But now it's like, how do you not have an opinion on the Rohingya fart genocide? And you're like,
When there's a femigenocide in the Congo,
yeah.
you know.
So
I just thought we moved past that after the Black Square moment.
And the kneecap
No.
guys are like the biggest LARPers. Like that's all that really comes down to. All of this stuff is just LARP. Like I'm so sick of LARPing.
we wish we
Yeah,
were...
they really look like they're pretending to be hard.
Well, they're like,
I think I like want to be Oasis, but we're not Oasis.
well, they like go so hard on like a political organization that hasn't had any power in like 50 years. They're like, the crown, F the crown, get out of Ireland. And it's like, dude, you had like 500,000 Nigerians show up last year.
Yeah.
And you're like, the queen, I'm sick of the queen. I'm like, they've been ceremonial for like 150 years.
Yeah.
At
So
least
they're
pick
acting,
a more trendy social issue.
yes, it's just
to
like the
talk about.
LARPing is just, I'm sick of it. I really have no time for it anymore. I'm like, dude, just like, if you're not actually serious about the problems in your country, just like, please shut up.
I mean, wouldn't you be mad if you went all that way and got tickets to this music festival and your time is just getting wasted with a bunch of political bullshit?
Yeah.
Or are they actually into it? Because I maybe they feel like they're a part of something. It's like historical. They feel like they're at Woodstock or like
You
what?
go to Bonnaroo and it's just Ted Cruz and Tucker debating for 2 hours. You're like, what?
Like, does that make people
I
feel
got
important?
dreads. How is this going
It's
on?
like, this appropriation spending's a little out of control, guys. Death to the appropriating spending.
Like, they feel like hippies who are, protesting the Vietnam War or something.
It's LARPing.
Yeah.
It's LARPing. Like,
That's the
people
thing they keep saying. Like, I'm like, as a millennial, I'm just so tired of living through historical events.
That's always been, I'm like, there was just as many historical events in the past. You just weren't looking at a phone 24/7,
Yeah.
which told you about all of them.
It's like your life is empty. You have no meaning, so you just LARP like you're some sort of something you saw in a movie once.
Well, no, and that's the thing, right? Like, if you signed off of X and you stopped looking at Facebook, would those historical events matter? Now, I understand the counter argument. The counter argument is like evil will prevail if you're not even aware that it's going on. But let's be real, you're not stopping the evil anyways. Like, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying you're ineffective.
Well, like 90% of the world hates like the IDF. They've been more effective than ever. So it's like the way the world works now, like this whole activism, protesting stuff just doesn't really matter. Your best shot is if you're really serious about something is like keep your nose clean and like infiltrate an organization or something. Like you're not going to have any effect getting up on stage in front of a bunch of drug addicts and being like...
Nobody will remember it anyways because they're all
they're all on
knee-deep in
drugs.
ketamine and they don't have any clue what's going on.
That's why they film it, so people can remember it.
All right, let's move on.
When Trump took office earlier this year, I think that he made a huge promise to Gen Z Americans. He claimed that he was single-handedly going to save TikTok, and he did, in fact, thwart the ban of the platform in January and was going to look for an American company to buy TikTok's assets. And now he claims that he has found a buyer, although it may be too late as other platforms have overshadowed TikTok's user base. So he didn't say exactly who, but in a new interview, Trump said he found a group of very wealthy people willing to acquire TikTok, and he'll tell us about it in 2 weeks. And he said the sale would need approval from the Chinese government, but he thought that Xi Jinping will probably do it.
Maybe Trump Mobile is going to buy it.
That'd be so sick.
What is
on all
he
the
even
Trump
doing?
mobile phones.
He's like selling all of this bullshit. I'm not even keeping
He really
track
does.
anymore.
Like all the stuff he does, it's all starting to feel like a pyramid scheme.
Like hiding
We
my
have
Trump
a
phone.
20 from Shane H. Wilder here. Did I miss this one?
Nope, just kidding.
I don't see it.
He says bands have been giving themselves normal names since the 60s. Alice Cooper was the name of the band. When they broke up, Vincent Damon, is it Fournier? Oh, yeah, it is Fournier. Had to legally change his name to keep using it. I guess it means to keep using it. I mean, just, the difference is, I guess, is like they're picking the names of actual people. Like, you know,
Right.
Bill Murray is
Yeah,
a
that
person, so they're the
Feels
Bill
like
Murray.
it should be illegal.
Yeah. Like, isn't that a copyright thing? They have to spell
Okay.
it differently.
So
Yeah.
the extension that Trump got for TikTok now says if they don't find a buyer, it will be banned in the US by September 17th. Coming back to TikTok, I did notice a lot of people just stopped posting on there in January because they thought that it was going to get banned.
Why
and
would
then,
you sink time into something
Yeah.
that's going away?
And then they realized
And
that it
YouTube
wasn't
was-
going to get banned, and they were
YouTube was like, let's freaking go.
Yeah, but now I'm thinking YouTube is doing some funny business with the numbers.
I think there's some bots.
Yeah, well, there's that, but they also have changed the definition of a view on a YouTube short. So YouTube has surged past TikTok in short form videos, with shorts now averaging 200 billion views every single day. This milestone was announced by CEO Neil Moen during his keynote at the Cannes Lions International Festival of Creativity. It's a leap from the 70 billion views daily that YouTube Shorts saw in March of 2024, and a 186% increase in just over a year. And I think the milestone is fake because literally just a few months ago, YouTube changed how they count views on short form content.
Yep.
Taking a page out of TikTok's book, making it so that when users scroll past a short, even if it's after a second, it's still counted as a view.
So this is one of those. This happens sometimes. It doesn't just happen on TikTok or on Shorts either. So
Yep.
I'm an indecisive person when I want to watch something on YouTube, and I'll sit there and I'll scroll past something. I'll look around. I'm literally doing anything but what I'm supposed to, which is finding a video to watch. And then I go and I don't click on anything, and I go to my previously viewed tab, and that video is there that was just like auto playing on my page, and I'm like, this is stolen valor for them. Like, I didn't watch that shit.
That's my problem. Is like, where it does the little preview.
Like,
I'll just sit there
imagine,
and watch the whole preview like without clicking on it. I'm just like,
there's a skit to be made of like content, like a new form of content cop. Like, what were you doing watching? I'm like, I didn't watch it. Okay,
But that is like the most annoying feature they added to Netflix, and I think most of the other streaming services is just scrolling past something is going to put it in your watch history, or it just forces you to start watching it if you idle on the screen for too long.
This is why Hulu is there. It's why Hulu supremacy, because Hulu does not make you look at frickin' previews.
Thank goodness, because it's just like forcing you to get overstimulated with content until decision anxiety forces you to watch. I don't know, like.
But you know that
Echo.
they have that these because these tech companies are so data driven. You know that there's some study that was done that was like, if we leave these annoying ads on, it increases viewership by
it'll just scare them into submission.
They'll turn something on just to make it stop.
Literally, that's how it feels. And then I just get scared and I don't want to watch anything. But on most people, they'll just watch whatever is playing.
The longer ads have given me like sunk cost fallacy, where I'm like, well, I just spent 60 seconds waiting, so I'm gonna watch this car crash compilation.
There's some sick psychological manipulation
brutal,
at play.
yeah.
I mean, like, given the fact that all I really watch on YouTube now is like long form, like video essays and TV retrospectives, everything, all of them over 2 hours long. YouTube Premium is like, I'm not watching 2 hours worth of YouTube ads. I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
just no.
It gets pretty obnoxious.
Yeah.
Like,
and they've beaten people into submission. Like, I don't even turn off automated ads anymore. Like, they weren't putting ads on anything we made unless we left automated ads on.
Yeah.
Like, so when we do this show, I drop ads at 15:30. Like, every 15 minutes there's an ad. And the first 3 automatically demonetize. Like, they do not put ads on and as you know, like, those first 3 ads are where you're going to get the majority of your viewership, right? Because people are going to watch the first 45 minutes to an hour, and then they kind of, viewership drops after that. But, just leave the automated ads on.
20 from Thomas Williams. The funny thing is, it's 20 pounds. The funny thing is, in the UK, the parties are swapped, so the Conservatives are blue and the Labour closest to Democrats are red. Also, some members of Parliament were running on Gaza?
So they're like, that's their platform. They're like, we are going to do well for the people of Gaza.
We're going to have a marathon in Gaza.
I mean, I was always, that was a thing that people used to talk about, is how the colors in America switched because communism is generally seen
UK
as
is about
red.
to have the light blue party in charge if the polls hold, so
Yep.
Conservatives are on borrowed time.
I'm with you, though. Like, there's some funny business going with those numbers.
Tate, do you have a TikTok account?
Yeah.
Do you use it?
No. Never.
Did you ever?
Yeah, I used it like 2018 to 2021 was like prime.
Oh, was that when they just had switched over from Musical.ly?
Yeah. That's when it was good.
Did you have Musical.ly?
No, I didn't have Musical.ly.
Okay.
Thankfully.
So, like, through the pandemic.
Yeah. That was like when I used it every day, and then I just like switched to Reels. But my cousin, he I can't like disclose who, but he's like huge on TikTok, and he's like stopped posting it in January because he didn't know what to do. And then now he's found that all of his audience has switched over to Reels.
Yeah, that
like,
must have been a huge hit for them.
Yeah, so I think TikTok's pretty much already dead. I think Instagram Reels is the superior product now.
I mean, that would be diabolical if, like, the head of YouTube and, like, Mark Zuckerberg were really just petitioning to get the ban, even though they knew it wouldn't hold, because they knew that people would eventually migrate just because they didn't want to risk, like, sinking time into a platform that wasn't going to be around in a year.
That's why I've said, like, if Elon was smart, not that he isn't smart, but if he was smart, he would, because they still own the IP for Vine, is if they just brought back Vine as an X product, it would crush.
There's a 20 from Thomas Williams again, but he deleted the message, so perhaps he doesn't want that read.
Okay, never mind then.
Message redacted.
Yeah, I was also mostly using TikTok throughout the pandemic, and then I only use Reels now. And the idea of scrolling YouTube Shorts is just crazy to me.
It also messes with your algorithm. Like
On
if
YouTube?
you engage with certain shorts, it messes with what videos it pushes you.
I
Yeah.
don't, for me, my Shorts algorithm and my regular YouTube algorithm are vastly different.
Oh, mine are like directly linked. It's brutal.
Like my Shorts algorithm is like woodworking and firearms maintenance and machining, and then my actual long form content's like, here's a 5.5 hour retrospective on the Shield. Do you want to watch them? Like, yes, I
It's
want to watch.
weirdly wholesome.
I'll
Yeah.
literally I'll watch a video and then the short will be the just cut up version of the video I just watched.
That does happen a
It's
lot.
so like, cause my favorite videos, I watch them every day. Is there's these guys in Namibia and they just like catch seals and cut trash off of their necks. And my shorts are all that as well. And I'm like, I just saw that. So it's almost like an instant replay, which is kind of nice.
I
But,
literally never scrolled YouTube Shorts, and I'm not planning on it. It seems like the most NPC way
It
to
is.
consume vertical short form videos.
it's literally the meme of the puppy where he has like the vaccines going into his brain. That's
Yes,
literally-
exactly. I was thinking like this has
Yeah.
to all be coming from like Indian viewership,
Or
right?
the
Yeah, it
videos
is.
where like they build like it's like a doorway and they put holes of different size and the cat jumps through all the holes
Yeah.
of varying sizes.
And the comments are always like, "This is so sick," and then Instagram Reels, the comments are like,
You're gonna
My
kill
cat
your
fell
cat. Like your cat is gonna
Um,
die if
hi,
you're not careful.
Cat jump expert here. You're actually abusing your cat by
then
making it jump through
Instagram
holes.
Reels is just threats that would get you jailed in every country.
But
So
the-
it seems like Reels is where it's at, and they kind of TikTok did Instagram/Meta a favor and did YouTube a favor by obstinately
maybe that's why Zuckerberg showed up
not
to the
complying
inauguration.
Yeah.
with the U.S.'s demands.
Trump is like, go to the inauguration and humiliate yourself by staring at Lawrence Sanchez's chest. And he's like, fine, but you got to get rid of TikTok.
Deal. Well, and there was also that weird like few weeks where there was that new Chinese app that bubbled up, and its name was just
Red
I think
Note is
no, it wasn't
yeah.
Red Note. It was sort of the Q. It was like-
Really?
I think it was like Q Ching Chong. I'm not trying to be racist. I think it was called like.
Well,
Q
that might have
Ching
been
Chong.
the Chinese name for Red Note.
It may have been, but it was on there for like 2 weeks, and you could talk to Chinese people on there.
Yeah.
So like everyone in America was like sharing like college football highlights, and the people in China were like, "This is very nice. I like this." And they would show us videos of them like torturing dogs or whatever, and we're like, "Interesting.
Love their culture.
Yeah, this is great."
So it seems that Trump did, the tech oligarchs a favor in
Yeah.
this country. All right.
Perhaps.
All right, let's move on.
Drake is getting ridiculed right now after posting a gym selfie where his abs appear to be fake. I believe they're fake. A lot of people are accusing him of getting implants in his stomach because when you compare the size of his abs and the visibility of his abs to his biceps, there's just no way that this is natural. There's no way he's actually built like this. Like, what kind of genetics would cause you to look this way? I wanna look at the zoomed in version of this photo
The top here. It's
in the tweet,
in
the
the-
tweet, so we can
that
all
one.
see on display. This is what Drake looked like in the gym selfie that is getting dragged across the internet right now.
I will say it's not as bad as the Big Sean. Like Big
well, look,
Sean.
the next one over is also looks like it's fake. I'm sorry, but it does. There's literally
No.
That's,
there's no way that you can have body fat percentage that high and have abs that visible and not have strong upper body.
It reminds
did-
me of a Liver King. Remember Liver King had like a cookie sheet in his stomach?
Right? We were just
Yeah,
talking
it's
about
like a
Liver King the
muffin
other
tin, yeah.
day, and I was
Yeah.
like, who the hell is built like this?
I mean, it's
crazy.
still possible if all he does is calisthenics and core workout. And,
And
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
amino and peptides from weird
Yeah.
countries.
but it's they got the money for.
Bro just skipped every day except for ab day. Like, what do you mean?
I think but speaking of like skits, like there was a YouTube skit the other day. It was like never skip heart day, or an Instagram, and it's just a guy drinking nothing but white monsters and like various means.
I'm telling you, stress testing's a real thing.
Yeah,
Like
dude.
McDonald's and drink really heavily every
I
weekend.
cannot get over the caption on Drake's post. I'm wide awake for the nights that separate the type who get to it till they get it right from the type who just ... type.
I'm assuming it's a song lyric
I really
of
hope
some
so.
sort.
I really
So
hope
wait,
so.
so there are two types. The type who get to it till they get it right, and the other type is the type who just type. Get it? We're typing. We're actually the guys.
We're
who just,
the
we're the type
typers.
who just type.
I also like that he's
the one who gets
I'm a
to it.
proud
I like that
typer.
he's got abs, but he's like, but look at all this alcohol.
Right. One of the replies said, all the jokes about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle abs are hilarious, but that man is way too rich to have such a mid liquor stand.
He doesn't.
They said he has the Longhorn spread in the crib.
Yeah, it looks like a Chili's.
Yeah.
Just shirtless
The
and an
full
Applebee's.
bar at Applebee's. Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, what if we find out later that he just bought all the Applebee's? He's actually like an angel investor for Applebee's.
He would win me
Oh,
over.
they're also posting this photo of French Montana because they think that he got the ab implants too.
I haven't heard that name in so long.
Yeah, whatever happened to him? But it's clear. I mean, really, like they're never gonna beat these allegations.
No.
Do you have it?
Yeah, I do. Here.
No one looks like that naturally.
There it is.
No one looks like that.
Oh.
That is fake. That 100% fake. Another one said Big Sean's fake abs disappointed the masses harder than Drake's did because Big Sean, beyond all that chlorophyll water, ashwagandha, my body is a temple type of raps.
I just, you know, that's what's gonna happen if you're posting the topless selfies. You invite ridicule.
Obviously,
Like-
Drake is known for being zesty. He's known for being sassy, pursing his lips in selfies, being a little too cute with it. But I don't know if there's anything zestier than a straight man getting plastic surgery like this.
Yeah, it's
Like-
rough.
Like it's so vain. It would be less vain to just take steroids.
Steroids are awesome.
Like-
I support steroid users.
I think bodybuilding is spiritually homosexual because it is for other men. Like,
yeah, it's awesome.
going for that look is for other men to admire. But like it's even gayer to get the ab implants somehow.
I think like steroid users are the same as astronauts. Like they're testing to see where the limits are.
See?
There's a good chance they will die.
Okay, so if you have breast implants, it's a foreign object. It's the silicone needs to be replaced every decade. I'm assuming it must be the same for ab implants. Like you have to go back into surgery every 10 years and get the ab
Where the
implants
hell
replaced.
where are the cut marks then?
Well, I guess that the scars
the-
faded. I don't know, or he got tattoos over him. Who knows?
Okay.
Also, I've always wondered, like, it can't be one unit because you have to like sit and like crunch over.
Right, you could get either 6 or 8.
I would do like 13, like have
Yeah?
an odd number.
Just
throw
looks
people
like
off.
a bunch of bean bags on on like a sheet of
Just
paper.
2 egg cartons under there.
Like, you think anybody's ever like, can I get like a 4-pack because I don't want it to look obvious?
Yeah.
Like 4-pack and then like it's a 5-pack and the one at the bottom that never quite fully forms.
He's like, he got out, he only has 3. He's like, they ran out of packs while I was there. I'll get the rest later.
well, this is they hide them. Well, I understand they hide the scars, but I'm saying where do they hide the scars? Is it Is it on his chest?
I mean, maybe in the middle if it just looks like it's the shadow.
They go in through his belly button.
Yeah, you gotta get really
Maybe.
precise.
That's what deformed Liver King's belly button.
It does look like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Well, leave the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles alone. Though.
That's an insult to TMNT.
Look, they're doing like the 30th anniversary re-release of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Chris Carr was like literally sent me a message. He's like, you should get tickets. Like we're going, and now I'm gonna be thinking about Drake when I go to see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Ruined
As
it
you
for you.
should.
Re-release in the theaters. It's I
always think about Russell Westbrook. That's always my.
I guess
similar.
for somebody like Drake though, it's also even more unforgivable because like a celebrity of that success, like you have the money for personal trainers. And
Yeah, he's just
the
not willing to
time.
put in the
Like,
work.
One of the comments that always gets made, I remember when Kumail Nanjiani got like ripped to play like his character in the Eternals, and everyone's like, well, what's your excuse? And then other people are like, well, it's like literally his job. Like they said,
Yeah.
put on a bunch of muscle so that you can look like a superhero. Like I don't have the time to go and, look like that. But, if you're Drake, you've got the resources. Go do it for real.
He definitely has the time and the resources. He just doesn't have the willingness.
Well, that or he likes too much mid liquor.
He's too.
He's like, look,
wimpy
I
and
like the
vain."
mid liquor too
Yeah.
much. Like,
Right, yeah.
I'm bloated. I'm sorry. I got to get the fake
Exactly.
abs.
People have been talking about the height surgery more these days
gosh.
because there is a plot line related to height surgery in Materialists, and basically Pedro Pascal's character it's revealed that he got the height surgery in the movie, and he's like telling Dakota Johnson, like, does this change anything between us? And she's like, of course not. But people were talking about it again because I guess some learned about it for the first time from the movie.
Yeah.
I think actually, like, getting the ab implants is worse
Than the height
somehow
surgery?
than the height surgery. I think the height surgery is more likely to make an actual difference in your life than the abs, and you can't work on getting taller. You can get abs if you really want them naturally.
There's something to work towards.
I mean, there was a guy, he was like called like manlet nationalist or something on Twitter, and he like laid out the data of how like shorter men are like much higher rates of predisposition to suicide.
Wow.
So he's like, this is literally height affirming care is gonna save America's
Interesting.
manlets, and I was like, maybe
Who
there's something
even
to that.
went to the trouble of measuring that, like suicide
I
rates
think
among
he did
men
his own study.
under average
He's like,
height?
he's like, I love forms, right? And I was looking at all the statistics, and then I saw one, and I hit sort by height, and I was like,
But
damn!
short people do have longer lifespan naturally.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
I don't know why though.
It all comes out.
It
in the
never,
wash,
it
yeah.
never made any sense to me. Like, it was just something you were never going to be able to control.
Well, really tall people die really young because their heart just can't pump enough
Yeah.
That's
blood.
true. It's more work.
Like Manute Bol died young.
And it was always one of those things where I was probably always the shortest in my friend group, but I had friends that were like a little bit taller than me that still were like self-conscious about being short, but that was never within. So in skating, that was never a thing. Skating, it always benefited you to be short because you had a lower center of gravity, so it was a lot less scary. But I had friends that didn't skate that were on the shorter side that would then be like, were definitely self-conscious about it.
But would they be clients for a height
No, I don't
replacement
think
surgery?
I don't
Drake
think any of them
height
would ever do
clinic.
anything like that. No.
The OVO height.
There was a guy I went to high school with who was slightly shorter than me. I think he was like an inch shorter than me, the shortest guy in the class. And I'm 5'1". And
He was shorter than you. Wow.
just by a tad.
That's grim.
And one day, I
At
don't
what-
even
what-
know what.
At what age?
We were like 18, so
Okay,
it's
so
not,
he was done growing.
he was done growing
Oh.
basically. So yeah, I don't know why, but I was just like stalking everybody online and I found his Google account. I went to his YouTube channel and I was able to see his liked videos, and a ton of them were about getting height replacement surgery. And I was like, oh brother, don't. But like we weren't close like that, so I couldn't tell him. Like I couldn't stage an intervention. But it's just, you know, it's not worth it. You're literally injuring yourself, and then after the fact, you're only 3 inches taller, and then you're
That was always
5'4".
my
Looks
like,
so disproportionate. Your legs are
and yes,
huge.
the proportions
Yeah.
are all wrong. You're gonna have disturbingly long shins, and nobody is gonna buy it.
I was like, imagine being 5'5" and you get the surgery only to still come in under the average height for an American
no
male.
point,
Right.
no
yeah.
point.
Like
You might as well just become like a race car or jockey or something.
jockey, yeah. Go. And in what was the joke? He's always like, and then jockeys always clean up with the women because they're confident, because they're good at their job.
Yeah, 'cause they're awesome.
Like, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So as long as you can put on an air of confidence, you'll be fine.
I like the idea of the leg extensions, but it's like airbags on a car where you can like drop down low when you're next to someone just to kind of send a message. Just drop down. That'd be so sick.
Drake, go and get the abs removed and start hitting crunches and better diet.
Go get the
Do
go-go
better.
gadget legs, get
And
the
that's-
ab extensions.
And we know that
or
that's what it
whatever.
is, right? Is like he just doesn't want to eat healthy because like you can't out.
I bet it's
you
because
can't
he has a
outwork bad
sweet
diet.
tooth.
He does.
Drake is he has a sweet tooth. He likes to sneak to the fridge at night on his tippy toes.
Well, no, the meme.
He
no,
sneaks,
no, the
he
meme
sneaks
is
in the
literally
dark
says,
to his fridge at night.
'cause
Drake
like
is
this.
Drake is the kind of guy who closes the refrigerator with his hip.
Yep.
It's because he keeps.
After he
Yeah.
picks out a little piece of cheesecake.
It's
at
because he
night.
keeps floating towards windows when there's a pie.
And you
on
know
the
what?
windowsill.
It's also because he likes the girly drinks. He was posing with the liquor because he's like trying to act hard, but he really likes, you know, some
Like,
margs.
What's
going to
happen is like people are gonna look at like another picture from a year from now, and the brown liquor's all gonna be at the same height in the bottle, and all of the margarita mixer is gonna be
Yup.
gone and replaced.
Yup.
They're like,
He definitely
Yeah.
is.
you told on yourself.
He
bro.
calls margaritas margs.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
All right, what would you guys like to see? Cringe or cute of the day?
Tate, you decide.
it has to be cringe.
Cringe
Okay.
first. All right, we will do cringe first. Here
This
we
one,
go.
I don't know if you guys are gonna think it's sad or what, but like I found it cringe.
It says, if you're listening, it says, I think I'm invisible.
I wish I could go over there and sit with you. I'm just over here on my lonesome on the comfy little couch, and all the seats are taken up at the big table. Some people say when they're in class that their peers become like their friends, really, but no, not really for me. Yeah, it's actually really comfy over here. I'm just gonna sit back, kick my legs back, have a nice view, relax over here on my own. I actually like being alone, really, because sometimes when you're a loner, you can get ahead on homework and...
Okay, it was cringe at first, and then it just became annoying. She deserves to be alone.
You can just do whatever you need to do.
Like, she deserves to be banned from tables with multiple
I think
people.
this is what Drake's up to.
Yeah.
You become your own best friend at the end of the day. Probably nobody would notice. Ow, help me, help!
Literally, they're all talking. Like, I hope she knows that they're all talking about her.
Yeah.
Help! Over here, help! Yeah, not a freaking soul really cares about my well-being over here, but that's fine. At the end of the day, I'm my own boss.
That was that, like, you just
They
know
just cracked
that...
a banger.
No, you know that, like, in their brain, she's like, that joke was about me.
It probably was. It was probably hilarious.
I'm my own CEO. Yeah, I like that bag. Hey, Chica, I like that bag over there.
That sounds racist.
Yeah, I think she probably can't hear me. It's actually a weird, really weird echo over here. Nobody understands the thing I'm going through. Guys,
Okay.
This is literally what homeless people do all day.
Actually true.
Yeah. Like, oh, it'd be a shame if you brought $1 over here.
I always give mine to the homeless.
If they started behaving like that, it'd be awesome. No, yeah, she probably is invisible. It's probably over.
It's like, I never want them to lie to me and tell me they're going to use it for food, though.
Yeah,
like,
it's like, what are you buying? Black tar heroin? I was like, sure, dude. Yeah, have fun.
Bro, like,
She sounds like someone who listens, or not listens, watches Steven Universe.
Yeah, that's a big problem as well.
okay.
She has a Cal Arts voice.
That was awful.
I'm just here by my lonesome. I wonder why.
Don't mind me.
Sorenko Productions has Q today. He says, I guess now, I remember this was after, I think this was right when the bunker busters were shot off. It says, I guess now would be a good time to have Luna return before we get World War III. For real, for real.
Well, it looks like it was
Whoa.
another non-happening, so there's nothing to worry about.
Oh,
It's a very pretty dog.
That's a cute puppy.
Yeah.
Sleeps a lot, though.
Very
Sleeps a lot.
Literally all the time.
Yeah.
All right, let's get started.
Pixar's latest animated film, ELIO, was released in theaters just a couple of weeks ago. And it had the lowest performing opening weekend.
We'll have to hold.
Okay.
We'll have to start it. We'll have to
Thank
reel it
you.
back. Thank you, guys.
At the beach. Still not dancing, Brett? I thought you liked this one.
I'm watching the cameras. I can't dance
It's a
and watch the
fresh
cameras
slate.
at the
This
same
could
time.
be a new-
You're like, oh, I'm so busy. Like, I can't
I've got
dance.
so much to do. Okay.
You're literally that girl. I'm just really busy
I'm
over
just
here.
over here.
Can't
Oh,
dance.
nobody's paying attention to
mind
me. Okay, let's reel it back.
Okay. Pixar's latest animated film, ELIO, was released in theaters a couple of weeks ago, and it had the lowest performing opening weekend in Pixar's history. And now The Hollywood Reporter has published a long piece about the production woes that plagued this movie behind the scenes for the last couple of years. First off, they had a director quit the project in the middle after an almost finished product was presented to the Pixar bosses. They didn't like it, so they had to switch. And then they had a talent leave the project after that.
America Ferrera.
And a bunch of anonymous sources from within Pixar have complained to The Hollywood Reporter about the lack of diversity in the movie. And this is back in 2023 that they started making these decisions, ostensibly before what is being colloquially referred to as the cultural vibe shift. They abandoned queer themes in the movie. So to put it simply, the protagonist, he is an 11-year-old, and they wanted this character to be implicitly, very strongly implied to be gay.
Through posters
Yes.
in his room and
Yes.
through a love interest that he would pine for.
Right. So, first off, there were themes of environmentalism. They said there was a film sequence removed from the final cut in which he collected trash on the beach and turned it into homemade apparel and included a pink tank top. Then the movie's team referred to it as a trash and show. But if you don't remember seeing this in the movie, it's because they decided that was a little too queer coded. This was portraying a queer-coded character, basically reflecting the childhood of the director, Adrian Molina. He is an openly gay filmmaker, and his vision for the movie was not seen through at the end. It was a vanity project. And
Yeah.
this director petulantly walked away from the project as soon as there was any pushback on these themes. Some sources say that Adrian Molina did not intend the film to be a coming out story since the character is so young, but either way, the characterization faded away throughout production as ELIO became more masculine following feedback from leadership. Gone were not only such direct examples of his passion for environmentalism and fashion, but also a scene in his bedroom with pictures on the wall suggesting a male crush. Hints at the trash fashion remain in the released film, although without any explanation for the unusual attire. And now, on a budget that some say is above $200 million, they've made $20 million in the opening weekend.
I mean, it was originally like people were saying $300
Yeah.
million, then that was pared back to 150, but then insiders at Pixar said no, it had to be more than $200 million.
Now, this isn't a nobody director. He was responsible for Coco in 2017, which was massively successful. So I understand why he had the pedigree and he had the room to make a project that was a little bit more just for his own whims. But as soon as they expressed any preferences outside of his original vision, he decided to walk away. And now I think he's working on... wasn't it they put him on to Coco 2 instead?
Here's an idea. Remember the movie The Fabelmans? That was like the Steven Spielberg movie about Steven Spielberg. Yeah. Well, that made about $45 million at the box office on a budget of $40 million. But the key there is that the budget was $40 million, not $150 million. And Steven Spielberg is Steven Spielberg, who can make vanity projects at his whim because he is who he is.
And that was after the failed West Side Story.
Yes, but I still think that you have to have more of a pedigree than just a couple of good movies if you want to tell a story that close to your heart with somebody else's money.
Or make it with your own money. But
otherwise, if you're going to make a movie with a budget that large, it's going to become victim to corporate storytelling because they're going to try and maximize viewership by making it as boring and as generic as possible. That's just the way it's going to be. A movie like this that he pitched would work better as a short film, made himself.
Or not at all, because can we just stop making everything gay?
Well, I'm trying to find a way that they can be like, look, you can make your movie, but you can't ask for $150 million to make it, and you definitely can't ask for $200 million to make it unless you can tell them damn well sure that it's going to be able to make double or triple its budget back.
Back in 2023, they did an early test screening for ELIO in Arizona, and although viewers expressed how much they enjoyed the movie, they were also asked how many would go to see it in the theater, and not a single hand was raised. So then what followed shortly after was a screening for the Pixar leadership, and he had a tense conversation afterwards with Pixar boss Pete Docter. Rumors circulated that Adrian Molina was hurt by the conversation. Oh, poor you. And then exited the project soon after and was replaced by co-directors Madeline Sharafian and Domei Shi. The second one was responsible for Turning Red, which was also a massive failure. One former Pixar assistant editor said to The Hollywood Reporter, "I was deeply saddened and aggrieved that the changes were made. The exodus of talent after that cut was really indicative of how unhappy a lot of people were that they had changed and destroyed this beautiful work." Another anonymous source said it was pretty clear through the production of the first version of ELIO that studio leaders were sanding down the moments in the film that alluded to ELIO's sexuality of being queer. So
again, 11-year-old, doesn't need to be in the movie.
Yeah,
at all.
This is a pattern now. So they already cut a transgender character's storyline from Pixar's TV series earlier this year called Win or Lose.
And Inside Out 2 went through many,
Yeah.
many revisions, which got it to be the corporate box office success that it is. There's another movie from Pixar coming out next year called Hoppers, which supposedly had extensive themes of environmentalism that I'm sure people would have just loved to take their kids to. Remember, what was it, Migration?
It was about climate.
Yes.
Yeah, it was about environmentalism. We have a 20 from Pop Culture Junkie. When is Hollywood going to learn that they have to be careful when doling out blank check vanity projects? Joker sequel, anyone?
Yep.
Well, this was a couple of years back, and maybe they've learned their lesson.
Well, the thing is this was right after Lightyear failed. And, you know, I still don't know if I believe that the gay character is the reason Lightyear failed as much as not having Tim Allen in the movie is the reason it failed. And the fact that
sort of scapegoated,
Buzz Lightyear looked like a cop who turned off the body camera with his freaking haircut and everything. So
the anonymous source went on to say, suddenly you remove this big piece, which is all about identity, and ELIO just becomes about totally nothing. Okay, it was about nothing when you decided to make it about the character being gay. It was already about nothing at that point. Then the ELIO that is in theaters right now is far worse than Adrian's best version of the original. The character was cute and so much fun and had so much personality. You mean he was zesty? And now he feels so much more generic. And then they say it's gotten positive reviews anyway. America Ferrera was originally on the cast to play Elio's mother in the movie, but she allegedly left the movie when Adrian Molina left because she was pissed that they no longer had a Latinx director.
They used the term. I don't know if she was not available for comment, so let's at least be fair. She didn't say that specifically, but the Hollywood Reporter decided
Easy to believe it, though.
Buckle in and say Latinx representation.
Right. It's just been a total catastrophe. The ELIO production resulted in fraught feelings for those with ties to Pixar who have come to question whether the company intends to prioritize diversity. Pete Docter sparked debate when he noted in a 2024 interview that Pixar should make the most relatable films possible, perceived as advocating for a shift away from underrepresented characters and voices. That's a good thing.
It would be best for you to focus on making movies that can be enjoyed by everyone, or at least the largest demographic possible, which is not to say that it shouldn't necessarily... It's to say that your themes should be much more deftly handled. However you're going to do this. Look, one of the things that I think is kind of a cancer is like people don't realize like you can go back and rewatch any movie and some video essayist can point to 10 reasons why this movie is about this theme.
Right.
But the point is that they had to dive deep to find it.
Make them work
I watched a House retrospective that says that the show was born out of the Bush administration's war on terror from this leftist. And I don't agree with him, but it's a fascinating leap of logic that the guy makes. And he draws it into comparing it to 24 and the war on terror. And I'm like, okay, I think this is kind of insane, but this is kind of interesting. But do I believe that anybody that was making the show, do I think Annie Jacobson or David Shore were like, you know what? We need a medical version of 24. No, I don't. But it was well researched, and he points to examples as to how this could possibly link to that. But that's the job of the video essayist, not the person who's making the art.
Yeah, keep all of that in the realm of internet theories. You don't need to feed it to people. And I would say, if we're talking about children's entertainment, family-friendly entertainment, the only, what did you say, deft way to handle themes like queer identity or divorce or sexuality, any of those things in a kids movie is to not handle it at all. That is the only good way to go about this. The only wise decision is to not address it. And it's only the adults.
People will still go back 10 years later and point to minute examples of a character and say, this is why. What did we see yesterday? Somebody said J.K. Rowling was a lesbian icon. I'm like, since when?
Yeah, people will just think whatever they want to think, but you don't need to feed into it. They say that Disney isn't necessarily responsible for the fact that Pixar is shifting away from queer themes in their movies. They're saying it's more happening from inside Pixar. There's a lot of obeying in advance behavior coming from the higher execs at Pixar, citing examples like Hopper's toning down themes of environmentalism. And then the director was told, you can't have divorce in this movie, which this anonymous source says is so wild. A different source says the project downplays the notion of this representing meddling and sees suggestions as typical of any early development process, noting that there is no mandate in Pixar prohibiting divorce in movies. But still, I think the implicit demand from the higher-ups is stop making it all about you, stop making it all about underrepresentation of voices and identities, and stop veering off from territory that's appropriate for children, because the backlash has just gotten too loud for them. Like they had to back down. They overplayed their hand so badly that they are at this point actually responding to a cultural vibe shift.
It's not about you.
As much as we mock that term.
It's not about your identity. It never will be. Not implicitly, not if you want the largest audience possible, because the idea of identity doesn't actually interest a whole ton of people. Not to the level that they pretend that it does. It is actually ostensibly the least interesting thing about you. Like, at least in my opinion, who you sleep with is probably who you sleep with, and who you vote for is probably the least interesting thing about you. And if it's not, that's actually a sign that you're probably not that interesting.
I mean, I feel like animation in general across all these studios has become something for adults. Have you noticed that? It's not just anime, but all animation, all animated shows and movies, it seems like they're catered for a very specific niche audience of mainly millennials.
There's a sweet spot of them to make stuff that's for millennials who have kids that they will theoretically, like Minecraft.
But they're making it for childless millennials specifically, like with the
I don't think
themes
so.
that they
No,
insert.
I think that
the
they do it-
sentimentalism, the focus on identity, the self-referential humor, the Steven Universe of it all. It's and the BoJack Horseman of it all, and like the themes that they include. They wouldn't be picked up on by kids. Parents wouldn't care about it.
Lilo and Stitch was the live action, at least, was made for the millennials who liked Lilo and Stitch. Okay, let me rephrase. Yeah, the live action versions of these things that are getting made now are made for millennials with kids to bring their kids to, because they liked the original.
I do think animation as a medium as a whole has been completely usurped by activists, and some of them were the ones getting interviewed in this piece for The Hollywood Reporter. And this Pride Month, it was a flop. Altogether, you sent me this story about the Pride merch at Disney this month getting carted away after sales were abysmal. And they're scaling it all back and throwing it in discount bins. I mean, maybe nobody wants this shit. No one wants your rainbow shit.
Look, like even the majority of members of the LGBTQ, they say it's called rainbow capitalism, and a lot of them reject it anyways because they don't like the idea that a massive conglomerate that's probably exploiting workers in third world countries and benefiting capitalism, that their identity is being used for that. So it really depends on who you ask, but it's just not interesting anymore. Nobody really cares about identity.
It's kind of disingenuous, like when LGBT people like complain about the marketing and stuff, though, because they'll be like, oh, this is cringe, but they're not actually upset with the pandering. They're upset with like the delivery, and they'll always
pander
vote.
Better.
Yeah, they'll always vote and advocate for their voices to be amplified. So it's like, okay, well, you don't like the small microcosm that's going to be a result of that, which is tacky T-shirts, but like what you advocate for is still a part of the same movement, which is be as obnoxious and loud as possible.
We have another 20 from Pop Culture Junkie. Beginning to wonder if low June attendance at Walt Disney World here in Florida may be radiation from the blast zone of the controversy over some of their film content.
I mean,
I didn't know about having low attendance in June. That's wild.
Maybe people
during the summer.
Maybe people are just broke and it's raining every 2 days, and you can't get outside without dying of heat exhaustion.
Well, everyone's visiting Alligator Alcatraz. And
stuff. Let's go.
It's all Ron DeSantis' fault at the end of the day.
Yeah, I also think like with the Pixar, like you're saying, how they're kind of targeting adults, is because like Pixar also has huge name recognition from like 25 to 40, like people that means something to them. And like I remember vividly like knowing that Pixar movies were bangers when I was a kid. And I don't think kids today grow up with that. And so Pixar is also fumbling another generation where they used to have such prestige and now they're just whatever.
They're not creating anything original that anyone cares about, and no childhoods are going to be impacted by Pixar original content in this day and age.
Yeah.
And I just have to mention before we move on, there were implications that ELIO failed at the box office because of the fact that they abandoned queer themes. That is the dumbest take I've ever heard.
It would have failed either way.
It would have failed either way because Pixar original content is repeatedly not just underperforming, but just completely crashing and burning.
Oh, well, I mean, given the fact that Inside Out 2 did as well as it did, it actually does suck for them that they weren't able to use the success of that movie for this.
I mean, even Inside Out 2, it's still a sequel to something that came out like a decade ago. So even that doesn't count. It's original.
All right, let's move on.
Shane H. Wilder said, happy Taco Tate Tuesday, Brett, Mary, and Tate. Random question, as I just booked some plane tickets. Aisle, middle, or window seat? I prefer the window.
Window.
I'm tall, so I have to go aisle.
Oh, yeah. You kind of have no choice.
You get penned in the window.
So you have to put your other leg in the aisle the whole time?
Yeah, and then like...
you get card injuries as they're wheeling through the pretzels.
Well, I used to do this thing. I stopped doing it recently, but I used to always have like a $5 Starbucks gift card. So when I would get onto the plane, I'd give it to like the flight attendant, like when she would come and check on me. So that way I'd know like I have good rapport with her.
Nice.
And then so she would tap me on the shoulder when the cart was coming. But like they stopped, like the quality of flight attendants have gone down. Now they're just like violent and angry. It feels like a dick's last resort on planes these days. Like they're being mean to you on purpose, and they'll just ram you with the cart and like elbow you and spike your drink.
They get a thrill out of it.
I know, it's like some sick twisted. Yeah, so I stopped. I dropped it. I probably should pick it back up, but I mean, I have to go aisle. Yeah.
Nobody prefers middle. I guess I would be equally happy with window or aisle.
I met one girl who really liked the window, and she was one of those like small. She's like, I'm so small, like one of those people. And she's
small bean.
Yeah, and she's like, I love the middle seat because it's like I can just be cozy and stuff. I'm like, you need to be put on the list. You need to be put on the list.
She likes being squeezed by the
I'm
people
like,
on
you would have
side?
loved Astroworld.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, all the jokes I can make about that aren't appropriate. Let's move on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shane H. Wilder said, I'm down for Humility Month. Nothing wrong with being humble or humbling yourself. Do we get pie? I'm sorry, I'll get my coat and see myself out. No, that's actually part of the plan. We're all going to get humble pie for Humility Month.
That's nice.
Do one more.
Thomas Williams said, Tory is short for conservative?
Yes, I know. It's funny because it's like the extent of my British political knowledge.
How is Tory short for conservative?
Why is everyone so mad at Tory Lanez? He's not even political.
Since when is he serving in British politics?
I'm sorry,
he's in
but
jail.
Nobody cares about your country. We don't think about the UK. It just doesn't cross our minds.
You think Tory,
no hate, but
you Brits, you think political. When we think Tory, we think Mythbusters. Like, oh yeah, what are they scheming up today?
What was the thing that I was telling you? Like, I saw a tweet and it was like Heather Hunter was the Prime Minister of Italy. They have a Prime Minister, right? It's like
something,
smirked at Macron and like I didn't know what that meant. Like.
Yeah, over here, our presidents and leaders are getting like shot at all the time, and then you go to Europe and they're like
it's at the G7. She was smirking with Macron. I'm like, what does that mean?
But you're supposed to know.
I was
what
like,
it
was
means.
she smirking at him, with him, towards him? I don't know. Like, I kind of like it. Yeah, like I wanted to go investigate.
It's like she smirked. You come to America, like the richest guy is calling the president a pedophile, like, and then over there they're like, dude, she passed a note.
All right, let's hold off on the rest and we'll come back.
Okay. Taylor Swift is now being accused of cosplaying as a Tradwife, as on multiple outings with Travis Kelce. She is wearing outfits people believe lean into this Tradwife era for her. I am looking at the examples that her fans are pointing out, and I just don't see what they're talking about. I don't see what they see.
The Pop Crave tweet here?
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, these people must have Tradwife goggles on, because what about this is telling you Tradwife? Like,
it's the pattern.
Is it the midriff? Is that what's yelling Tradwife to you?
She's wearing a tablecloth.
But this one fan said,
she does look like she went to an Italian restaurant and dyed it green.
I love Taylor, but the indie alternative pretentious Taylor was so much better and so much more fun than this Tradwife Taylor.
Tradwife.
They're saying she is a Tradwife, even though she isn't married. And another one said, it's not Tradwife. If you really hate that, you might hate Taylor Swift because this is how she's always dressed. As you can see in her prior eras, you can always see her wearing this 1950s housewife style. This is not new for her. Another one said, I can't believe people are calling Taylor a tradwife just for wearing pretty dresses. They wouldn't have survived the red era in 2012 with the 50s style. No one was calling her a tradwife back then. That's because we didn't have buzzwords like tradwife in 2012.
She's not wearing Cookie Monster pajamas or huge blue jeans.
Right, yeah.
Also,
they're like, how dare she not wear pajamas out in public? Like, how dare she put time into her appearance? Don't you know that the only way a woman is supposed to dress is to try and repel men by looking like you just rolled out of bed?
Right. That's the norm now.
It's also proof that like tradwife doesn't mean anything anymore because like OnlyFans models use it to market.
Did it ever mean anything?
No.
Was
never
there
anything
ever
to
a
me,
point?
but it meant something to
I mean, it doesn't matter. You
people.
use the example of like OnlyFans models using it to promote, but actual ones that consider themselves tradwives, it's just an internet persona.
And
I
the
feel like it's
actual-
always just been an online
It's just
meme.
it's like all that means is look at me. I bake on camera sometimes.
Yeah, it's like you're an actual tradwife, but you're on the internet. It's like if you want to see a tradwife, go to like the Amish. That's a tradwife.
You
And they
got
would-
We're not
involved
going to
in
be
this.
hearing from them.
And they would have no idea what it means, and they would be scared of you.
Oh, yeah. I also posted evidence of Taylor Swift's tradwife era. This was over a decade ago now, but she took it further than just her outfits. That right there is a picture of her with Connor Kennedy, the great nephew of JFK, RFK Jr.'s son, and she dated him in 2012 simply for the meme. Like, literally, it was so weird because, first of all, he was 18 and she was, I think, 23 or 24 at the time. That's an unusual age gap, I think, for a male-female dynamic. I think that is kind of weird. I think she was dating him for the aesthetic. And also, she went so far as to buy a house next to his family's house.
Marrying into a very powerful political family is very trad.
Well, she didn't go through with it. I don't know why.
That's what,
It must have
She
just
got
been
bored
for
of the
lyrical
trad.
fodder.
Yeah.
But she was
The,
like dressing like a little 50s housewife the entire time that they were dating. And in the first picture, you can see her leaving a bouquet of flowers at JFK's grave.
I did watch.
She's psycho!
I did watch this like AI video the other day, and it was like one of those like, have you seen like the POV videos? It's like POV, you're in like the Roman Empire, and it's like it's what would happen if they had cell phones back then. And it's
yeah.
JFK with a phone. He's like out here at the parade in the car, and then nothing happens. The video just loops, so you keep watching
man.
it like
Nice.
when's it
Waiting
gonna
for the
come?
jump
I was
scare.
waiting for the jump scare. It never came. I was pissed. I hit downvote.
Well, on that note, there was another example of her out in New York City with Travis Kelce wearing a very normal looking dress. I mean, I have nothing against this outfit on her, but one person who claims to be a fan of hers has commented and said, I'm sorry, I will never be over how bad Taylor Swift is at fashion. This now has millions of views from Swifties who are furious, and they dug into this woman's personal fashion history. Let's take a look
I'm gonna start with this one.
at who is preaching about fashion.
Uh-oh.
Miss Celia Bedelia.
Double nose ring is crazy.
That
work.
is crazy work. How do you breathe?
She has like trash in her hair.
And that's the type of outfit that she thinks Taylor Swift should be wearing.
Well, yeah, I mean, she's not wearing blue
Oh.
jeans, but she's wearing the
It's like
oversized.
trad prisoner core.
Let's see the next one.
striped shirt. Whoa.
Oh, okay. We've got a fashion expert on our hands. Look at this fashion plate.
Oh, no.
Amazing. And she says, wait, I look so cute in these photos. Also, for people who know so much about fashion and think my clothes look cheap, I wonder if they could name the designer of my dress, bag, and shoes in that picture. She spent thousands of dollars to dress like a crazed hobo. This last one, just what is this stance? Like, what am I looking at
It's
right
like
now?
birth. She's giving birth.
It looks like she's trying to abduct people under her muumuu.
These are the most like
No,
bizarre-
it's giving Louis C.K. I'm not letting you out of the room.
Ew, she's blocking the bathroom door. Oh
this is
no.
very like Zoran rally coded. Like you see people like that everywhere there.
Yeah, just again, look who's talking, right? Like this is actually an example of man repeller fashion.
Yeah, I mean, she's man repeller. Like she looks man repeller just by
Without
virtue
the
of who she
clothes
is. Like it doesn't
being
matter.
weird,
She
it
would be
doesn't
man
matter.
repeller either
You would
way.
be man repeller regardless. Yeah. I mean, for all of the criticism I've lobbed at Taylor Swift over the years, I have never said a single negative thing, I think, about how she dresses. I think she dresses quite well, actually. And that's why people don't comment on how she dresses. Yeah. It's not really the main focus, thankfully. If anything, she's gotten criticism for dressing too modestly over the years, especially with the things she wears on stage. People noted for a long time that she never even showed her belly button in public. And that was like a big deal.
What is this, Saudi Arabia?
To be like the only mainstream pop star that doesn't show like your full midriff on stage. It actually is, weirdly enough, kind of a big deal. Makes her more family friendly than the rest of them. Yes. I would say. People were really mad at us for saying that, but Taylor Swift is maybe the most family-friendly pop star.
I mean, when people say that she's not, it's because they look at like her concerts. They're like, look at all the devil worship in those songs.
She's summoning Moloch.
Those are the days where I'm just like, I don't belong here.
Yeah.
Like you have like satanic panic fatigue.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Like, I get it, but let's just not.
Well, I just want to, for once, say something positive about Taylor Swift, and I think that it's great that she uses her outfits to dive headfirst into self-destructive spirals and cosplay as an entirely different person every few months. I mean, I think I kind of support that level of crazy. I do.
She's
I'm behind it.
I mean, somebody of her level of fame, though, is always going to be subject to a wide range of discussions about them in fashion. It's just clothing, or whether they're overdressed, underdressed, modest, immodest, is just going to be par for the course for her. I feel like she's kind of gangly, and she dresses to kind of help with the fact that she's
well,
gangly.
It used to be the case, like more so when she was much younger, but it's just ironic to me that she's complained for such a long time about being misinterpreted, and everyone thinks I'm crazy.
Okay.
Everyone thinks that I date guys for songs.
This is something.
Meanwhile, like, you bought a house next to this guy that you'd been dating for like 2 months. Like, you are actually crazy. We're not making it up.
No, that's the type of thing where we have to talk about like the Bezos wedding and what it actually cost relative to their net worth. So her buying a house across from somebody with her net worth is probably the equivalent of somebody, I don't know.
It's like buying him a keychain.
Yes,
or something.
yeah. This right here does kind of look like what you think of if you're thinking of like thought Instagram Tradwife who's going to make cooking content. Right. Like that's just porn-brained idea of Tradwife.
And that's not what she was going for, but that's what people are saying.
She could have a future selling sourdough recipes.
She could do that. Does she have a cookbook? She's got to have a cookbook.
Oh, a Taylor Swift
She must be
cookbook,
struggling
for sure.
Like she's got one.
She pretends to be into baking. Remember when she made those Biden-Harris cookies in 2020?
And
that was a hit.
The cooking in the T-Pain rap song too.
I think she did Kamala cookies as well.
Kamala cookies.
She makes a lot of cookies.
I mean, she's like, I don't cook, I bake. Okay, I'm not a cooker. I'm a baker.
Different.
It's different. Yeah, I mean, she's just like, this is so tame considering like everything else we're talking about. It was like they were giving out Plan B and abortion at like there was an abortion truck at the Olivia Rodrigo concert. And Taylor Swift's like, my skirt shows ankles, and people are like, whoa.
Right, yeah, she is kind of held to a double standard a little bit.
Meanwhile, the rest of them are like, sacrifice your firstborn to the demon Moloch.
So we have a volcano set up by the merch stop.
You just like look, it's not just to have the abortion. If you have a firstborn, you can just shove the baby. You can dump the baby in the volcano.
Yeah, you'll get a hoodie out of it. It's a
like it's at like you dump the baby and then go to the merch store. Yeah, and then go to the merch.
They give you a little coupon.
Right, exactly, voucher.
I sacrificed my firstborn at the Rodrigo concert, and all I got was this lousy T-shirt.
Yeah, they don't tell you in the fine print that that's the only shirt you can pick. Like you don't get like good merch. You have to get the ironic merch, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
Like,
why am I kind of defending Taylor Swift?
And this is 100% happening. This is real.
See, the other thing.
Well, the Plan B is real. That's real. That happened.
It happened. Like, this is not a joke.
In all the rest of them, it's like in all the pop stars kind of run the same today. The only one I remember is Tate McRae because they call her fans Tate McRacists.
Yeah.
They said that she is like the embodiment of Dubai. Like her music sounds like Dubai.
She does.
Yeah. It sounds like a Need for Speed soundtrack.
No, and the funny thing is Tate McRae is on the F1 soundtrack. I'm like, who made that? Like I was listening to the music from it, and I was just like, when I went into that movie, I was expecting to hear like classic rock.
Yeah.
And instead it's like Roddy Ricch and Tate McRae. I'm like, this is so schizophrenic. Like, I guess it had to do this because, like, the Roddy Ricch song is, like, when the younger racer is, like, working out and getting in shape. And then I'm waiting to hear, like, the Eagles whenever Brad Pitt is on screen. But it's mostly modern music. And, like, she makes, like, a YouTube short that's, like, did a song for F1, but it's her just posting a thirst trap. And you just know that, like, this is the embodiment of, like, the corporatization. Like, some Apple executives, like, oh, my daughter listens to that frickin' Tate McRae lady.
All of Tate McRae's dancing, it looks like there's a wasp in her clothes, but she's not wearing any clothes.
Yeah.
She's kind of like the female Benson Boone in a lot of
Really?
ways.
No.
Yeah.
I don't
She's
think
not
so.
stomp clap
Where-
enough to be the female
No,
Benson
hear me
Boone.
out. It's because Benson Boone like thinks this is what women would be really into. It's Tate McRae behaves what she thinks men would be really into, and
But she
neither of
does-
them are really
I
connecting.
see.
But she doesn't make music for men. She makes music for women and gay men.
At least that's what they say.
That's what they say, and Benson Boone will say the same thing. But it's like, well,
Since we're talking about pop stars, we should probably
Let's-
just segue right into
let's
the
do
next
it.
topic. Katy Perry's life is an absolute mess right now. She's going through a public divorce. Now her Lifetime's tour is ongoing and spinning out. She just had a massive technical malfunction at a recent show that resulted in her getting stuck in a gigantic metal hamster ball mid-air, and she couldn't get out in front of everyone in the crowd. This is in Australia.
This is what happens.
In the middle of her set.
The first thing I thought was like, this is what happens when the music's not enough.
Well,
when
I
they
think-
have to turn everything
Yeah.
into a giant Cirque du Soleil event that they're not qualified to participate in.
The pyrotechnics and the robots and everyone's on fishing line flying in the air. I can't get out! She's really stuck.
You see the dancers like
This looks terrifying.
this could have been Astro World 2.0
Right?
very quickly.
she rolls over the crowd. In the wall.
Oh no. Is she screaming?
She's like, I don't know what to do right now. So what do you do in
Wait,
this
if she lets
situation?
go, she could just fall through it?
I don't think she'd fall through. I think she'd gut one of the,
Ah.
one
I
of the
actually
sidebars.
respect this a lot from her because she's like, look, I'm doing a show in Australia. How do I connect with the Australians? Well, I'll imprison myself in this jail.
She was clutching onto the metal frame for dear life to keep from toppling out. Katy was putting that upper body to work,
Yeah.
clinging for dear life to make
her
it
abs
scarier.
are not fake like Drake.
Yeah.
The
yeah.
music cut out and the lights dimmed while the crew scrambled to step in. And then on Beyonce's tour, which is also flopping, the Cowboy Carter tour, she ended up stuck in a prop car mid-air in front of everyone in the crowd. It looks like it tilted because one of the cords holding it up broke.
You know what this means? We need a Fast and the Furious musical
This is
right
insane.
now. Like, can we get Fast and the Furious on ice?
Get her down!
Get her down.
See what they should like if they wanted to make a political statement, they should have done this with a Tesla.
Can you see her face? I can't see her.
Is she okay?
Look, this could be a Final Destination scene really quickly. Like that
Squishes
car
everyone.
just snaps off those
Oh,
cords
yeah.
and just crushes a bunch of, Cowboy Carter fans.
Let's just there is no song on Cowboy Carter that justifies
Fies this-
this.
yeah.
I
There-
think this is a huge marketing potential. She gets her little car, and Katy Perry gets her metal ball, and they do like a Rocket League live adaptation, and they play. Yeah, that'd be really nice. And they just knock her around in her ball.
Like, what song is she performing right now?
I
This
don't.
ain't text. She's dying.
Like, it could be worse. She could be on like a mechanical bull that goes bad and like.
Just launches her out of the stadium.
Everyone is worried about whether Beyonce is going to be okay, but like I would be running away from that thing. Like it could just come down and smash you to pieces.
Like, I'm sorry, but this is what happened to Owen Hart when he died in a ring in WWE, because he was on wires and the wires snapped and he died. Well, I guess he died at the hospital, but that was
Awful.
tragic and it didn't need to happen because the stunt didn't need to happen and nothing. There is no song, period, unless it's Fast and the Furious the musical that needs a car up on wires.
Can't you just like do a hologram or something?
Like, the only way this could be funnier is if it was like the song Fast Car from Tracy
That
Chapman.
would be cool.
Like if it was Tracy Chapman Fast Car and the
a
car
Beyonce
wasn't
cover
moving.
of
Yeah.
Fast Car.
Like
yeah.
that's the only way that could
You know,
work.
that would just destroy that song. Oh, that'd be so sad. I don't want to think about her doing Fast
Let's just
Car.
retire that.
Can we just keep the artists on the stage?
Yeah, don't throw them in jail. Don't dangle them from the roof. Just sing your song and get out.
Blue Ivy fired everyone that night. Ugh.
Like there was nothing in that show that needed her to be up in a car driving around. And you just know it's the part of the show she hates the most. She's like, oh.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, who comes up with this shit? Where are the gays with clipboards that actually make interesting concerts happen?
And I do.
They got rid of gays with clipboards.
It's true, and I do like that people in the crowd are like, "Get her down!" Like some PAs can be like, "Oh,
Oh, thank you for letting me know.
oh, guys, we gotta get her down."
10-4.
Yeah,
Someone is holding up a sign in the video while she's trying to get down to the ground. But they're saying, Beyonce, say my name. I think that's what the poster says. You're focused on that instead of whether she's about to like fly down to the ground and turn into pink mist. Now, this also reminds me of a country artist that doesn't need to have a flying car at his concert, slamming Beyonce's attempt at becoming a country artist just the other day, saying this shit ain't country music.
I hope this guy's ready for the backlash that's about to come to him because the
It didn't
Beehive
go
does
well
not-
for Zach Bryan.
No, and he folded instantly.
It was Zach Bryan,
Was it
wasn't
Luke
it?
Bryan? Zach
It was
Bryan? I don't know.
Luke Bryan, I think. Yeah.
It was a Bryan of some sort.
Yeah.
But he folded like instantly. Like, I was drunk that night.
No, wait, no. That was about Taylor Swift. but
Yes,
Which
yeah.
one was the one that talked about Beyonce and had everyone come after him? I think it might have been a country music station that wasn't playing Cowboy Carter, and
Yeah,
all of
that's
the
what it was.
Beehive
Yeah.
came after them.
That's what it was,
And they
yeah.
had to capitulate.
It was like just a nice country channel like Montana. They're just minding their own business. Someone clipped it and their lives over.
All right. Let's
Front of me on the Apple Music country charts.
He's so drunk.
See, that's even better.
Yeah.
Like,
That's part of the
So you know he
culture.
means
Like, I'm
it.
sorry, but if he does this sober, I think he's just doing it for clicks.
Right.
And one of them's Beyonce. You can tell her we're coming for her fucking ass.
That's crazy.
That shit ain't country music, and it ain't ever been country music, and it ain't gonna be country music. We're about to play y'all some southern fucking rock. Y'all hit that shit, boys. Front of me.
You
I
know he
love this
meant
guy.
He probably was behind the main malfunction of the car.
Right? He's sabotaging the,
He's like,
the
a real,
tour.
he's like a real country artist would have known how to get the car off the wires and
He's
I mean, truthfully,
he
like,
doesn't even change her own.
wasn't even a truck. You gotta get by that thing and push it. That lady don't know what she's doing.
I mean, truthfully, like, I don't think a country artist would have pyrotechnics and crazy props.
They would launch the truck
and
off a ramp.
bullshit.
Would they be judged for it, I guess?
Yes.
You know,
Yes, absolutely.
Unless you're Keith Urban,
Yeah, I don't.
who's
think
too
so.
busy getting cucked by Zac Efron.
Okay, if you don't know the context, we'll
Yeah,
we'll just leave that.
Maybe we'll talk about it
unexplained.
tomorrow, but
Yeah.
otherwise it's just it's a funny joke. Trust me. Yeah, that was.
I hope that guy doesn't get.
he's gonna get
Well,
dragged.
he is gonna get dragged, but I hope that he doesn't get intimidated by the people dragging him online, and he stands by what he said.
See,
I hope he stands on
or
business.
he is a cunning
Unlike Zac
businessman
Bryan.
and
Yeah.
wasn't drunk and had that there just as like a backup.
Yeah.
If he
Pulling a
gets the
JoJo
backlash,
Siwa.
yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
You know what?
I was drunk.
That could be JoJo Siwa's next move, becoming a country artist.
Yeah,
I think she would actually excel at that.
yeah.
She's proven that she can pivot.
All I know.
If you can
is,
pivot
like,
from gay to straight, why can't you pivot music
That's
genres?
one of the toughest ones.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that guy's in for a rude awakening because they're gonna. I mean, it depends on if this guy's like on social media. If all he has is like a social media
to be. If you're a
manager.
musician, you have to be.
Like,
there's no choice.
Gavin Adcock, that's his name. Does not look like he spends a lot of time on social media, but maybe I'm wrong.
Good for him.
You know, I mean, but there is a discrepancy there between like radio country when they sing about, much like the rappers who grew up going to art school and into theater camp, but talk about life in gangs. There is the country star who talks about working the 9 to 5 and going to his local bar, but he lives in like Tennessee. He lives in Nashville and he lives in a mansion and he doesn't actually live the life that he talks about.
Driving in a small town. I mean, I still love that song.
Yes, exactly. So,
I mean, Drake gets dunked on for the same reason because he like grew up like upper middle class.
Yeah,
he
started from the middle.
Yeah.
Now he's here.
He had a bar, I think one of his recent songs where he's like, I'm getting so rich, my music's not even relatable. I think it's been that way for about 10 years.
Yeah.
All right, let's do the super chats.
Adam said, "Is that your type, Mary?" Is what my
I think
type?
talking about the abs, guys.
Fake abs?
Yeah.
No, not really into that look. Colton said, "Mary looks like Taylor Momsen."
I don't know who that is.
Who's that?
She played the character named Jenny in Gossip Girl.
Oh.
She also sings in her band called The Pretty Reckless. I have gotten that comparison before. Thank you. I think it's a compliment.
Who is this? Who from whatever?
She also played Cindy Lou Who in the Grinch movie.
If they were like, is this supposed to be Kesha? If she had like a really bad day.
That was after her days as a child actress. That's more recent.
Okay.
Shane H. Wilder.
So I did start getting like a little bit of a feeling about how much time has passed because I started rewatching Suits the other night. And there's this character in like one of the early episodes. She's mad at her dad, who's like a billionaire who like runs an oil company. So she like hacks the company, and she's coded as like young hacker lady, right? And I looked at a picture of her now, and she's just old. Like not in a mean way, not like she's not like.
Well, how many years has it been, Brett?
15.
Oh, how dare she age over 15 years?
I'm just saying, like, in my mind, not that much time has passed.
I looked at this person 15 years ago, and then I looked at a new picture, and they looked old.
I do not look like I looked in 2011 either. That's the point, is like, you don't think about it sometimes.
Opie from Andy Griffith's looking really old now.
You do look younger, I think, than your age.
The point is that I look at it like, because like there was a lot of years in there I just wasn't doing anything, it doesn't feel like that much time has passed.
Yeah.
So
I see
it's
what
kind
you
of
mean.
sad.
Shane H. Wilder said, "Go find a chair and sit with them. It's not hard."
Are
Well,
we
no,
talking
they were excluding her.
She was being she's being very loud. She's very unstable. That you could.
Well, I
get
mean,
hurt.
maybe if you hadn't started being loud and annoying, they would actually want you to come hang out with them. But since we'll never know because you had to make your stupid video.
We just turned into this random girl's like biggest ops
We
for no
are.
reason.
She's gonna like be outside the studio. Like, it'd be really cool if someone came out and talked to me.
I mean, some people have done
Like
that.
who actually
gosh.
does that? Like like
A lot of people.
Oh god.
If you think about it. Yeah.
but like who actually does that?
We will
like,
not talk to
like
you
I
if
said,
you do that.
it's endearing when the homeless guy is yelling and I give him
Yeah.
money, but that's like we have our designated
Why do you
roles.
reward homeless people for harassing randoms in the street?
I don't if they're yelling. I only if they're holding up a sign.
I only reward them if they do like a little jig for you after you throw
Okay,
a nickel in there. Like,
Brett, like
It's
a lot
nice.
of them aren't even homeless and they're just lying about it.
They're
That's fine.
LARPing about it.
I mean, it's
Barfing.
that, or I give the. Okay, so my favorite story is recently. I think I told you guys this. I was at the Dollar General that I frequent. That's by my apartment. Started doing the thing where it's like, do you want to round up to give to this charity where no money will actually go to the charity and just be paid? It's like it was like the most generic. It was like it was like the writing committee. It's like teaching kids to write. I like how vague it is.
Yeah.
Like, don't the teachers do that? And it was like my total was $3, so it asked me to round up to $4. I was like, no,
Yeah.
you're not getting my money, but I will give it to the homeless person. I know it's going to the person who asked for the money. I'm not giving it to some soulless suit who might give 10 cents on the dollar to kids who can't write. I can't write.
The worst is when you're in Memphis because it's all to St. Jude. So like McDonald's prompts and you're like, what are they shaking me down for now? And there's like a kid like with tubes in his head and you're like, I'm sorry, I need the change. brutal.
So you can sleep well at night knowing that the money is spent on drugs.
The last time I gave money to somebody that was homeless. He said $10 more and I can get a hotel room, and I drove away plenty happy knowing that he was lying, knowing that he was not going to use it to get a hotel room.
Yeah.
Like,
seriously, Brett, I can't even believe it.
yeah,
It's wild. Pop culture junkie.
better them than an empty suit. Okay, you know why? Because the
It's
empty
not an
suit,
either or situation. You can
Because
choose neither.
You can just save your money.
You can just not give your money away. That's an
Nah.
option. That is always an option.
And if you're homeless out there, or you're not, or let me correct that. Don't give your money to homeless. Give your money to Pop Culture Crisis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what you should do
We
is,
need
as
it.
I
We
rattle,
are the homeless.
As we
10
rattle
more
the,
crisis parties and we can get a hotel room.
Got any change?
I do want to get 10 crisis parties tomorrow because it is my birthday. That's a
Yeah.
completely
Yeah.
arbitrary
Brett
number.
deserves it.
I do. I've earned it.
For the day, treat Brett like a homeless bum. Come on, guys.
You could do that anyways.
Come on, mail your money in, put it in an envelope and mail it.
Will you try pierogies for your birthday?
If we get 10 crisis parties tomorrow, I will. I don't know how we're gonna get the pierogies.
I'll
but
get some pierogies. If we get 10 crisis parties tomorrow,
I
we
will
will
try
finally
pierogies.
get Brett to try food
Correct.
from his ancestral homeland.
Yeah, he needs to connect with his roots.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want to end up like DJ Khaled, just not caring when people of my home country are.
Like his name's Khaled. Would be like a Polish like name like that. Brett.
Yeah, that's
That'd be nice.
Brett. Pop Culture Junkie said shorter people live longer due to lower risks of certain diseases, fewer cells in the body, and lower rates of cell aging. Live long, Mary. Well, that's good
Thanks,
to know.
Doc.
Is that why
Jeez.
I'm gonna live forever?
That's exciting.
When I die like at 50, it's not gonna be because of height. It's gonna be because of Arby's. I've been over this. Arby's, Sonic,
Yeah.
Long John Silver's.
There will be signs.
The body has been keeping score.
Yeah, like it's sad, but I post pretty regularly. Like when I go skating, I'm like, my mind still thinks I'm 25, but my body definitely knows that it's the age that it is because I've been skating for 25 years.
Yeah.
So my body doesn't hold up. When I was skating every day, it was different. You know, even in my mid 30s, I could do it every day. But if you can't get out every day, your body doesn't hold up. the way it is. It's not the years of skating, it's the inactivity that does you in.
Right.
Yeah.
It's scary, dude. Jeez.
Yep.
Serenco Production said, yeah, Luna basically sleeps, walks around, eats some food, and finds another place to lay about until her walks. LOL, she's definitely living the life right now. She's living her best
Who
life.
is?
The dog from Cute.
Oh,
Confidence.
yes, Serenco. It's an adorable
That's true.
puppy. It looks so
It's a
happy
very
when it's
beautiful
sleeping.
dog.
Adam said, please no to a Disney movie of Greta. Well, I don't think they were going for a Greta Thunberg biopic.
Remember
They were getting arrested in Gaza.
Yeah.
remember all of the
It's
offensive
like the IDF's
Pixar
right behind
covers?
me, aren't they?
Wait, what?
Remember all the offensive Pixar covers that were getting made?
Oh,
Yeah.
2 years ago.
I want to know
Floyd.
what was going on in the studio that they did to like respond to that.
Those got like
like,
they
genius.
got like pulled down from copyright. Like
Right?
they got people were getting sued because you made a George Floyd Pixar
And there was
movie.
much more interest for it than
That was
anything
so
they could come out
great.
with.
There was one. It was like tunnels, and it was the.
Oh no.
That'd be awesome. She's like, did you guys hear that? And they're coming out of grates. Whoa! He's right under us, isn't he?
I'm gonna see if I can find it.
Are we gonna get in trouble for
Probably.
showing it? I don't want us to get in trouble.
They get the cop that's having to like patch up the hole, and he's like, I don't get paid enough for this.
Francisco Sanchez Jr. said, I remember sitting in the theaters watching a 20-minute Frozen shortly before Coco started. Oh, it was short. I was bored beyond comprehension for the next 105 minutes. Pixar movies never resonated with me. I never cared for any of them after... Wait, was Frozen a Pixar movie? I think that was a Disney movie.
Yes.
Was it not?
2 Girls, 1 Cup.
Oh,
JFK.
Oh, no.
And my favorite, Towers. It's the
Oh.
Guys, we're heading right for it.
My favorite meme lately, it says if a woman did 9/11 and the plane goes right between the 2 towers.
It's so true, too. It's so true.
Shane
Or if it was
Trelder.
Beyonce get stuck right in front of the tower.
Shane H. Wilder said, I'm glad no one said middle seat. That's a red flag. Yeah, liking the middle seat is a pervert move. And no, when I take the flight, I won't have pretzels. I'll have a soda or seltzer water. Correct. And this is just a life hack to anyone. If you like gin and tonic, get gin and soda instead, because I had no idea for the longest that a serving of tonic water is 100 calories.
Damn.
That's a lot of sugar. It's just sugar.
Oh.
And it doesn't taste any different if you get soda water instead.
I didn't even notice it was sugary.
Little skinny life hack for you. Just thought I'd add. Adam said DEI facepalm.
In relation to what?
About
Just in
Pixar.
general.
I mean, yeah.
Just guys.
I mean,
just really
technically,
Speak on it.
technically,
Speak on
if
it.
the guy had a successful movie before, that's not entirely accurate because he has the pedigree of
Coco.
Coco being successful.
Right.
It
What
would
was
be,
the other one called that did really well? Encanto?
Encanto? Did
But
Encanto do very well?
Wait, that wasn't Pixar though, was it? That was a Disney.
That was a Disney movie.
Okay.
Right.
But Coco was Pixar.
And
Omega Red fan?
and then Elemental, what they were hoping for with ELIO is that it would be like Elemental, which had a crappy opening weekend, but then like clawed its way to
if you're
success.
going for elemental success, you're not shooting for the stars.
What would that make? Like $600-700 million? Maybe it was less than
Total?
that. Yeah, I mean that's still a lot of money. Depends on how much it costs to make the film.
I mean, that just means it barely made the money back.
Mm.
That's not good enough. It's not good enough. Omega Red fan said Uncle Ruckus goes country.
Not even 500 million. 494 million.
Okay, on a budget of probably 200.
Yeah, let me find out.
Yeah, that's nothing. That's the best they can do. these
200
days.
million budget.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
That's not good.
they're like we take the wins where we can get them today, even if they're not wins.
Yeah. The Last of My Kind said CMA created a new category because of Beyonce.
What was the new category?
What?
LARPers.
Let me look this
Bad
up.
music of the year. Got him.
Let me see if they actually announced that. Okay. It's not showing up for me. Did they add one that's like best black country artist or something?
Seems like they're not going to do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see anything like that. Shane H. Wilder said, I would go see that guy's show. There's country right there. I'll tell you what. Yeah.
Like,
Shane H. Wilder?
Like, does that guy, like, I bet you he goes home and he just sounds like he's from New York.
Yeah.
It's just total put on.
He's just faking it. It's like I watch.
I mean, Taylor Swift totally faked having a southern accent.
When I watch,
She's from Pennsylvania.
when I watch old episodes of White Collar, there's an actor in it named Ross McCall who does like everything he's in when he's in America does like this generically Brooklyn sounding accent, but the dude's from Australia.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I mean, that's
Maybe
so
it's the
much.
easiest one to fake.
Oh,
I started
is it the
watching.
Same guy that was in Hawaii 5-0?
No.
Oh, that guy
but
did the same thing.
I started watching Animal Kingdom, which is this show about like a crime family in Southern California. Like 3 of the 4 people are from Britain.
Yeah.
Like there's like they all have a generic California accent, and all the men are from the UK
That's
or
how
Australia.
Everybody Loves Raymond was. There's only one Italian in it, which was Ray, and everybody else was just like from the West
Faking it.
Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah, LARPing. It's
Whoa,
bad.
they had me fooled.
It's a big problem. Also, like Ryan Gosling, he's a Mormon from Ontario, and he sounds like Marlon Brando. That's a problem.
Did you see the trailer chat for Project Hail Mary, and what did you think about it? Speaking of Ryan Gosling.
It's Gosling's in it, so it's gonna be sick.
Yeah. And also I watched the trailer for The Running Man today with Glenn Powell. It's good. The trailer was too long. Like
What is it about?
It's based like it's an Arnie movie from the 80s where it's like basically it's like a death competition where he has to like outrun the city for like a certain period of time. It's based on like a classic movie, and Edgar Wright's making it.
It's just a reboot.
It's a remake. I've only seen the original like maybe once. I think my dad had that movie on like VHS, but like the new movie looks pretty good. But they were definitely like when they show that much in the trailer, you start wondering why they're showing so much in the trailer. But Glenn Powell's got the charisma for sure.
This is such a girl thing, but I'm still so pressed about the Devil Wears Prada remake that they're doing right now.
The sequel, not a remake, a sequel.
Is it?
It's
I
a-
thought it was a remake.
It's a sequel.
You sure?
It's part 2. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
The Devil Wears Prada again.
She puts another layer on.
I-
Satan
it.
wears Prada.
Another layering up.
Lucifer wears Prada.
I just
Oh.
rewatched the original, and everything about the movie is great except for the ending. So she has this awful boyfriend in the movie who's a total loser, and he resents her for having success in her career. And he's like, I miss when you dressed frumpy and you were a size 6. Like, you suck now because you wear clothes that look nice and you have like you're always too busy and you miss my birthday party. And he's just like awful the whole way through. And the ending sucks so hard because she ends up quitting her job because she thinks that Meryl Streep is a bitch and she doesn't want to end up being like her. And then she goes back and like begs her boyfriend to take her back. And these guys like, oh, maybe we can work something out. We'll see.
Maybe.
I don't know. You hurt me pretty bad. Like, we'll have to work it out later on. But...
Pretty sure it's a sequel and not a reboot.
Either way, there's no need for it. There's no need for it to exist.
Yep, starts filming with Anne Hathaway, Meryl Streep, Emily Blunt, and Stanley Tucci returning. Kenneth Branagh joins the cast.
I also wonder, there was like a huge plot point that related to Harry Potter. And I wonder if J.K. Rowling actually did that for product placement in the movie. Is that a thing a publishing house would do? They would like include that to get the sales up for the next book? That was in between the 7th and 8th.
I mean, it's maybe. I don't think that J.K. Rowling needed that at that time. If anything, it probably benefited the movie more than it benefited J.K. Rowling. Like, Harry Potter was a phenomenon.
Well, she was, in the movie, she was tasked with getting the unpublished manuscript of the 8th book in the series.
Then that's just a matter of cultural interest at the time. It would be like there's like now it'd have to be like whatever milking, like Morning Milking Farm.
Morning Glory Milking Farm.
You have to get the final copy of Morning Glory Milking Farm too.
Right.
Gosh.
Because all the women are going to be porn brain gooners.
Oh. Gooners, man. It's a big problem. They need to be sent to Alligator Alcatraz.
Wait,
the Katy Perry cages.
Can you explain this to me?
What?
The Alligator Alcatraz.
Yeah, Trump's like building a giant like prison in Florida for like migrants.
Oh. I thought this was related to Swamp Fest.
It basically is. And he said today, the direct quote, it was the Chiron on Fox News. It was one of the funniest things I've ever read. Trump on if migrant escapes, they'll just get eaten by wildlife. Quote, I guess that's the concept.
There's like a moat.
Yeah.
Basically, I mean, that's what Alcatraz...
Like, what if he gets eaten by alligators? Like, well, I mean, that's kind of the whole point.
Yeah.
Who was I just watching the other day that, the guy who is like the lead of the show FBI was like, yeah, I kind of like the idea of Alcatraz opening back up again. Yeah. You know, like you die if you try to escape. Hope they're all innocent, like, or hope they're not innocent. Like, I hope nobody goes there is like actually not guilty.
Like, why did we pivot? Like, Rikers Island is brilliant. Why did we pivot away from island prisons? It makes so much sense.
We need to bring back moats in general as well.
Just have one around my townhouse.
Well, yeah, and lift bridges, like a drawbridge in front of your house.
And a
they should just put a moat around the White House.
With piranhas. That'd be kind of cool.
Like red, white, and blue piranhas.
Yeah.
Or just Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah. Whoa! Shots fired.
Shane H. Wilder said, there were no grammatical mistakes in my last chat. Use a southern drawl and it will make sense. I did. Yes. Mission accomplished.
What was the chat?
There's country right there.
There's country right there. That Beyonce lady need to shut up.
We're getting close to a second party, guys.
Shane H. Wilder said, this is why I give food to the St. Vincent de Paul Society. It goes to those that need it, and it beats wondering if a bum is using cash for drugs. Yeah. Like, there are ways to help the homeless without just giving them cash for their own
I don't do it for them.
vices.
I do it for me.
I do it for me.
Is it really? Is it really like
that's what
just to make yourself feel better?
Yeah. Yeah, for the most part.
Why do you need that?
You're going to ask me questions I'm going to have no answers. It's
I just want to understand.
Yeah, you'll never understand.
Like, I've never felt the urge to just hand cash to a homeless
just
person.
shoving a cheeseburger in a homeless guy's mouth like, this is for me. Eat it.
I would have a harder time parting with the cheeseburger than like
true.
the $2.
Crazy.
Like I want to eat the cheeseburger. The $2 is basically there in case my card ever declines at a the only reason I ever keep cash in my wallet is in case my card declines at like a store. Which
there are so many scammers. Like at a gas station in the area, I saw this woman she was just clearly walking around with a fake pregnant belly. And asking
got it
people
from
for money.
Her and Drake have the same fixer.
Okay, so so
Prosthetic stomachs.
there was when at the Walmart on the way home, there's a family that's always outside there. I don't give money to the family. It's like a family. It's like a business to them.
Yeah.
It's got to be like an individual homeless person on his own. Also, I saw ones that were out there last time and said hungry hikers.
Whoa.
That they were traveling, I guess, and hiking and begging.
Well, go find some
I'm not
berries.
giving
I don't
money
know.
to them either.
Yeah,
some
live off the
berries.
land.
They might actually use the money for food. I don't know if I want that.
Yeah. There's hungry bears too.
Shouldn't they just go hitchhiking?
Yeah.
Pop Culture Junkie said, good advice. I switched to Tanqueray and soda long ago.
I didn't know this was the play.
It is.
Wow.
If you know this. I didn't know this, actually.
I'm in the dark.
Yeah.
Here I am
Shane
drinking
and
100
Wilder.
calories foolishly.
Well, yeah, and the gin and tonic is pretty much my go-to everywhere. So
Curious Potato says a lot of people
Change
do
the game.
charity work to feel morally superior. Do it for that.
I mean, there's not a bad reason, I guess. Well, it is a bad reason, but it's not a bad thing that you help people to feel better about
The
yourself.
logic is like then that's literally just kind of like capitalism, right? Like it makes you feel better, but it helps somebody else, so there's a net benefit on both sides. But if I give money to a charity, again, I don't know how much of that money. That's literally what every communist wants you to do now. They want you to give money to the government or to some NGO that you've never heard of, and the money never seems to make it to where it's supposed to go. And look, if you're going to give money to charity, just do your research and make sure that it's one of the few that's actually putting their money where their mouth is. I'm too lazy. I'm just going to give it directly to the guy.
Yeah.
He can use the money on whatever he wants. Sometimes maybe he buys alcohol. Great. If he buys a cheeseburger, great. If he puts it towards a hotel room,
What if he's buying
great.
drugs? What if he overdoses with the drugs that he bought that you gave him the cash for?
I didn't
It's
sell
not like
him
he's
the
gonna
drugs.
know. He's not gonna find
I'm not
out.
going to know that.
Whatever. We have a 20 from Isaac Cervantes III. Thanks, Mary, for influencing me to start zinning. Wait till my mom finds out.
Uh-oh.
Are you a child?
Mom found
Mom's
out.
going to be pissed.
Oh, crap. Mom found the Zins.
I mean, you're welcome, I guess. It's been nothing but a net positive on my life since I introduced it.
She's like, my life has gotten nothing but better.
It literally has, yes. Shane H. Wilder said, Tate, did you say Chiron? It's Chiron?
See, this is what we were
I'm
talking about
confused.
pre-show is like the producers for like news stations have beef with like YouTuber producers. That's something I
It's
thought
my
it
new
was
favorite beef.
I thought it was Chiron, and then there's gonna be some guy watching from Newsmax and be like, "This
Oh,
idiot!
no, doesn't know how to edit copy.
Oh, go figure. He doesn't know how to do a Chiron."
Where did you go to college?
Yeah, exactly. So I appreciate it.
So
Now I know.
inside-
I kind of like the
baseball
idea
there.
that we should just start a beef with OAN.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
A Timcast beef with OAN.
And we should have like a full like boxing card with just the producers going at it. Like, that's what we need. The guy I'm
Oh,
talking
no
about.
lower thirds on your show, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, where are
Oh,
your
my.
infographics?
Yeah, yeah. The ring girls just have lower thirds they're holding up. That'd be so awesome.
Oh, nice overlays.
Yeah.
OAN, more like old and nerdy.
Yeah, got him.
Ah,
They will never recover.
Where'd you get that B-roll, Reuters? Idiot.
Shane H. Wilder said, I nearly gave money to a bum with a sign that said, I'll bitch slap your wife for $1 because I couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah, see, they gotta have.
I also appreciate well-made
I've
signs.
seen some
They gotta have a
crazy
bit.
movies. Thank you.
I don't know when to start dancing.
Yeah.
Here, okay, bang.
I've seen some crazy signs though. One of them was saying he was raising money for a penis reduction surgery.
Ah.
See,
Another
I
one-
would, that's almost too Reddit for me to give money to.
I mean, yeah, of course.
Like
I'm not-
he sounds like he's got internet access. He can pay for it
Absolutely.
himself.
Another
Donate to my
one said like
Chungus fund.
need money for Vaseline, can't get any P word. Yeah.
That's mildly less clever. I might give money to
That's
that.
a noble cause.
Yeah,
too.
like I might.
The birth rate is low.
He needs
so-
Vaseline.
Yeah.
Okay, it's for a good cause.
Yeah.
It's for the birth rates.
Yeah.
Gotta get those birth rates
I remember
up.
my dad would say that if somebody would be panhandling and they would mention being a war vet, like his age, he would like quiz them.
Oh, to get them to prove it.
Yeah.
I
Like,
see.
oh, what did you care? Like,
That's smart.
and if they passed, he'd give them the money. If they didn't, just like clamp the wallet shut. Sorry.
Have like a really loud billfold, or like the ones that magicians use, where it has like
Yeah.
fire and it's. Sorry. And learn how to pronounce Chiron.
Somebody in the
we-
chat just said Diddy. I wonder if the verdict.
Oh,
is
the
in
verdict. Yeah, it's in.
Yet. Is it in?
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're
What
verdicting
is
right
it?
now.
Oh, it's not out yet.
They're not telling anymore.
Darn.
Wait, but they did come to a conclusion.
Yeah.
So is he going to jail or what?
But he got dismissed on the charges of human trafficking, right?
Yeah, but
So
there's
they just
there was
kept the racketeering charge, I think.
Yeah, because there was a guy outside of the courthouse with a sign that says, "Frico is not a Rico."
Frico is not.
Yeah, I was like, dude,
I love
get
how
your
unser-
life
I
together.
love how unserious it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just shocked that like the case was clearly seemed to be falling apart. Like the federal government rarely goes to trial unless they know. For a
Yeah,
fact.
that's
like
kinda
they
shocking.
do not go to trial unless they're going to win. It's one of the reasons why whenever the death penalty comes up, I was like, why would I even? Like they don't even go to trial unless they know they're going to win. So they send criminals that they know are guilty free all the time. They don't even try. The system itself, like I'm not entrusting people who do that for the sake of their stats to put somebody to death.
But you just made the argument for giving homeless people money.
Yep. It doesn't need to make sense. I'm a mystery wrapped in an enigma wrapped in a paradox.
I'm a libertarian. I believe I should have the right to execute.
I don't know. I'm not a libertarian.
No, I respect it. I respect it.
But yeah, I know. Like to be fair, like, but the homeless person is just one person. The federal government
Right.
is an enormous body. Like I'll never understand that when you hear all these stories about like DNA evidence was suppressed or they didn't do this or they didn't do that. I'm like, if they did it once, they'll do it 1,000 times. And if you think it's unique to a couple of examples, you're wrong. Why would I trust somebody like that to put another person to death? It's not because I don't think that a criminal doesn't, who does something heinous doesn't deserve it. It's that I don't trust, potentially corrupt human beings to do it.
It's a
But-
good take, I guess. Yeah.
You know what? We're not getting into a death penalty debate right now.
Well, 'cause he's not
I'm
hung up on the-
incredibly pro. So
He's
it's
not hung
just
up on the
not.
morality. He's hung up
It's
on
not the
the
morality
logistics.
of it. It's not the morality of the death penalty. It's literally whether I believe that the people in charge of implementing it
Well,
are
that
even capable
kind of
of.
still addresses a moral question.
Then I think that is awful and as evil as those acts are. I think that the much more banal evil of like corrupt government is far more common and far more likely.
So what's their conviction rate again?
It's like 99%.
Why would they go to trial with this Diddy case if they didn't know they had proof of every charge? I just don't understand it.
Maybe
I
it
haven't
was
even been
fun.
following it.
90%.
I have
Some
not.
saying it's closer to 95%.
I have not been following the Diddy trial play by play as a lot of people have. So because I just got fatigued with all of it, and I don't want to hear about what he was doing with prostitutes. But yeah, I mean, I had a feeling that he was going to get away with a lot. Anyway, Shane H. Wilder said, "I was just effing with you, Tate. I'm not even a producer. I'm a director. I press buttons and make people look pretty on air."
No, you're looking out for me. So in case I slip up and say Chiron in front of the OAN at the OAN boxing event.
I'm not gonna lie, like whenever I'm like, I just for names specifically, like when I was doing the F1 review, I was like Damson Idris. Hope that's how you pronounce his name. 'Cause
You have to guess at some point.
and plus it's the thing. I don't know if anybody here's ever had to do it. You go to YouTube to look for the pronunciation and name. It's like, here is the name.
Yeah.
I am about to tell you the name. Get ready for me to say the name. It's coming
happening.
now.
It's
And
so exciting.
2 minutes later, they say it in like a half a second, and then the video ends, and I have
but
to
they
hit
like
start over.
do an ad read for a VPN before they give you the pronunciation.
That's
Like-
how it is with like recipes online where they're like, you click it, it's like tzatziki, and then like for 8 paragraphs they're just
I was homeless when I was I was homeless when I was a child, and my mom made this.
I took a gig in Omaha for a few years, and like it didn't work out so well. Met this girl, and you're like, just tell me.
And
dude.
she told me about this recipe.
Yeah, it was a different recipe, but I met a guy. You're like,
Which led me to
dude.
this recipe, which led me to Le Cordon Bleu, where I learned about this recipe.
Yeah.
That's
Do
how it
we
goes.
have any Rumble rants?
Let's check.
Because I
Speaking of
forgot.
ranting
I
on
keep
Rumble.
forgetting about Rumble.
All these ranters.
Yep. All right. This one is from is it Joma ZQ? Says if he overdoses, then he'll die doing what he loved the most.
Oh,
That's not nice.
yikes.
That's a dose of
Rumble is kind of messy.
They're all ranting.
Yep.
It's in
They
the
are.
name.
Urka 17 says Tate and tacos are the only good thing about Tuesdays.
Well, there's a lot to love about Tuesdays.
The
No,
local
Tuesday
Wendigo-
is like actually the worst day of the week, objectively.
It is the most NPC day.
I was telling
You just feel like such an NPC on Tuesday.
Really?
Like, what is this, a weekday? Ugh, go figure.
the local Wendigo says Brett loves pierogies and Mary has a Labubu collection.
Whoa, is that true?
I would never.
Wow.
My point was that Mary
Never accuse me of that.
Mary has the best day to be on IRL. This is my argument, which is like, if you're on Thursday night, it's not Friday. Friday's the worst day to be on IRL because like your weekend doesn't get to start at its normal time. You're there till late. Whereas Thursday, it's the last day before Friday, and then you're like launching into the weekend.
That's true. That is
like
a good
once
thing,
because I used to do IRL on Fridays. Now I do Wednesday. I get done. I'm like, oh, it's not the weekend yet. Fuck.
But to me, like Thursday is basically Friday for me.
Thursday is just early Friday.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. But Tuesday,
it's Friday Eve.
Tuesday's the worst because I'm always like kind of looking forward to Monday in a weird way. Tuesday is just like it's only Tuesday.
Right.
What about Wednesdays? It's just like
Wednesday is just kind of neutral.
Yeah.
I think Wednesday is almost like a Friday because it's a Friday to Thursday.
Thursday is Friday this week because we're off on Friday.
We should just rank the
Right.
days.
For 4th of July.
Right.
Well,
So
Friday's number
basically,
one.
basically, if you think about it, tomorrow is Friday spiritually.
I'm gonna power move and call in sick tomorrow.
I'm sick.
I'm not feeling well. I'm
People are getting
sick.
fired up. Someone said Thursday's overrated. Do people have like hot takes on this?
Wait, do you have like a YouTube channel where you talk about like the validity of what day of the week is best?
It's like an hour-long lore video on like Fridays. And
Like,
it's
honestly,
not as
People do
cracked
have
up to
strong
be.
feelings.
That's
about
the
this.
stuff I would like to make content about that would never do well, which is like, here's why Thursday is actually the best day of the week.
Who was that one guy? He was like a grind set guy, and he's like, when my day finishes at 12, and then I get another day. He's like, boom, I got 3 months on your ass. You're like,
It's
what?
like my day starts at 6 a.m. and my first day from 6 to noon. Boom. Then from noon to 6, and then from 6 to midnight. And then he's like,
that's the homeless guy you're
he's
giving
like,
money
time
to.
that up over a month. That's 21 days. You tell it over a year, it's this many days. I'm kicking your butt. And I was like, why did he say butt? Like, there's literally that's the name of that video. It's like there's a whole channel called Manipulated Time because that's because what I've done is I've manipulated time and I've had 3 days in one day. He probably also says quotes like, when you start getting serious about your goals, you lose friends. That's why a Lamborghini has 2 seats and a bus has 50.
Right.
Like those are all just grind set. I incorrectly said it was Manosphere last week. It's not. It's crypto and grind set.
Grind set.
There is an
Guys.
overlap, but yeah.
Because there's just one guy sitting there like, dude, whoa.
Holy crap! I gotta
Whoa.
see if I can find that.
Why is that in every single like grind set or manosphere podcast? It's 2 guys. One of them is dropping the truth bombs, and the other one's like,
Yeah, I was like, whoa, dude.
yeah.
No way.
Measure time. I've compressed and condensed time. I've bent it. My day is 6 a.m. to noon, and I'm not crazy. You're crazy for thinking it takes 24 hours, just like some dude in a cave did 300 years ago. My second day starts at noon and goes till 6 p.m. That's day 2. And then the next day is 6
Like, do you
p.m.
know how bad that would have fallen flat if the snap didn't go? Like,
That was a loud snap.
to midnight. What I've done now is I have changed and manipulated time. I now get 21 days a week. Stack that up over a month, I'm gonna kick your butt. Stack it up over a year, you're toast. Stack it up over 5 years, my entire life is different than it would have been otherwise.
I used to subscribe to I used to follow an Instagram channel that just posted this every day.
So good. It's so good.
Like
I'll
This
kick
is from
your
an account
butt.
called Reachable Success.
I'll kick your butt.
I wonder how far I have to go into
Over
this
a year,
I
you're
want to
toast.
know how far I have to go into this page to find Luke Belmar stuff.
Oh, can you find the Luke Belmar where he's comparing water brands? And he's like, he's good. He's like, what about Evian? He's like, it's okay. It's like a nuclear
Like
take.
he hasn't decided on
It's just
Evian
some
yet.
Insane take. I love Luke Belmar, dude. It's like, hey, you connect. Come on, guys.
I think people need to start studying words. Even just looking at money. You look at a bank. What is a bank? What is also a bank? A river bank. Right. And what does the river bank do? It controls the flow. The flow of what? The flow of the current. The currency. Right? So if it's controlling the currency, it's also controlling the what? The flow. The flow of what? The cash flow. So what? Money moves like water. So I understand where the water is going to go. I just have to position myself where the cash flow is going to be next, and I will get wet. Welcome to the big leagues, motherfuckers. Think people...
Whoa! Dude! Like the banks control the money.
This is the guy's version of the girl who gets her friends into MLM scams.
Hey, bestie. Haven't talked to you in a while, but you look like you're unemployed.
Yeah.
Want to sell these shitty leggings?
Wait, here we go.
What's a bottled water that's really good you recommend?
You can do Mountain Valley spring water. You can do Avian.
Evian. I love Evian.
Wait, didn't Saratoga stock should have gone up?
Right?
Yeah, those are good ones.
Tastes good.
Fiji? No.
See, Phil would disagree.
Right,
Phil only
right,
drinks
right.
the Fiji water.
so
when he's on
arbitrary.
Nope. What's a water?
Okay. It's
So
okay.
he's down on Fiji.
Like, see, the thing is, though, is what if he came out and was like, Dasani? Dasani's the best. And everyone's like, whoa.
Oh, he loses all his subscribers.
Yeah.
I never understood the Dasani hate.
Tastes like paper. At least to me.
It was, I don't know if this is true, but in school the story was it has sodium in it to make you more thirsty, so you buy more Coke products.
Gatorade has sodium in it.
And Gatorade makes you thirsty.
It balances your electrolytes.
My
true.
electrolytes are down.
I just
I don't know where I was going with that.
I totally like bought into the idiocracy thing.
Now that I'm
It has electrolytes. What do you mean?
What is an electrolyte?
now that
I
I'm
don't
living,
know, okay? But
Wait,
they're
Electro is in the banks, and they have electricity to power their lights. It
important.
controls the flow.
Light.
What is
Can you
light
please give me a
years?
dollar?
It's electric.
Yeah.
Just give me $1,
It's
man.
the
Come on.
powerhouse of the cell.
Brett would give that guy $1. He's like, oh, the bank and the river. You're like, dude.
I mean, now that I'm living 21 days in a month, or 21 days a week.
Dude, you're toast. You're toast.
I'm kicking your butt.
I'm kicking your butt. My life's completely different now. And you aged 40 years.
Why did he say butt?
There was also there was also like a
Kicking your
Patrick
cheeks.
There was also like a Patrick Bet David version of this where he talks about his kids going to like different sports, and he's like, soccer starts from 5 to 6 and baseball starts from 6 to 7. They're like, he doesn't walk to get there. How does he do all the sports at one time?
Oh my god. And you know what makes the most sense about Luke Belmar is that like it came out that he's like a Liberty grad.
Oh,
It just makes so much
he looks like one.
It makes so much
That's
sense.
funny. Isaac Cervantes.
I might have found it.
If the kids want to have leverage to negotiate with me with anything they want, the currency is pages you read per day. It doesn't matter if we're on vacation, if it's a Saturday, Sunday, the kids are required to read 20 pages every day. That starts at the age of 6. When you turn 6 in our family, every day you read 20 pages. Well, my 10-year-old right now reads 300-400 page books, and he goes through them and he devours them, because I think that's the secret sauce. If the kids want to have...
Okay, that's the
A
secret sauce.
6-year-old gets leverage on his dad.
He's kicking his butt.
Dad, I want to play video games, and I got leverage on you because I read Wolf of Wall Street.
Okay, all right. Now that we're done with all of that, guys, hit the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel if you are new here and you have not subscribed here yet already. Please and thank you. Tate, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at RealTateBrown. And I will be looking up what electrolytes are, so if you want to find out, I'll tweet it and let you know.
Okay, fantastic. We do have a few more super chats. Isaac Cervantes III said, sentence them to Wet Willy. That's maybe worse than death. Adam said, what are y'all's plans for July 4th? I don't know
Capitol
yet.
visit? I don't know.
What do you guys think?
All holidays I go skate because government buildings are shut down.
I haven't decided.
I'm going to go to the beach.
Shane H. Wilder said cash flow. Whoa, that's so deep. Anyway, it was incredibly
Well,
deep.
if you were living 21 days in a day, like
Yeah.
you would be.
Maybe
Yeah.
you should manipulate time, and that would clock with you.
Guys, you can send me validation on Instagram at Mary Archived, or you can send me hate on X. That is also Mary Archived, and help me get TikTok famous. That is also Mary Archived. We have one more from Hiroshima Otaru. Most electrolytes used in drinks are salts.
Okay.
Good. I want salt.
Well, then you don't have to follow me on Twitter anymore then. So.
Damn it. I think I found it. I think it might have been this one. Hold on.
My son's schedule every day after he gets off school, 3 to 4 he swims, 4 to 5 is soccer, 5 to 6 is jiu-jitsu, 6 to 7 is baseball. By the time he comes home, he asked me a question the other night. He says, Daddy, do I have a busy schedule or is this a normal schedule for all kids? He says, because when I talk to my friends, they don't have my schedule. Here's what I will tell you. You're a bad David. I don't care what the Jones schedule is. This is the Bad David schedule. Even with parenting, you can do everything right, and the kid can still screw up. One day they say, my girlfriend is right. All you care about is money. You don't love us. You could buy me this car.
I like how he's like the thing that his kid did that was wrong was say that was like that a girl was right about something.
You could buy me the house like the other person is doing, but you are so cheap. I know that moment is coming, but I'm good with it. And I'm going to stand my ground because I'm banking by 25, 30 if they get through that ugly phase of hating God, the 3 phases you got to go through with your father. You idolize, you demonize, you humanize. My son's...
He's like, shut up and go to football practice.
You're on the Bet David. You're on the Bet David
I don't want to
schedule
see
now.
you.
Manipulate time and get on the Bet David schedule.
All right. Guys, if you want to follow me, I am on Instagram and Twix at Brett Dasovic on both of those platforms. We are here 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is, of course, noon Pacific. We are on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, and Spotify. If you would like to listen rather than watch the show, you can rate and review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify, which always helps us out. If you want to follow us on social media, we are on Twix at @popculture_show, Facebook at Pop Culture Crisis, Instagram at Pop Culture Crisis Pod. Guys,
There's
we will
one
be
more
back. Oh, is there one more?
Shanice
Go for it.
Wilder. Electrolytes. It's what plants crave. I must be a plant then.
Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back with another episode tomorrow. We'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.